Hey guys, tonight we're setting sail for the roughest waters history has to offer. Not the Johnny Depp kind, not the treasure maps and parrots kind. I mean the real waters, the ones that don't crash against ships, but against the human soul. The waters of forgetting, of distraction, of living busy lives while slowly losing sight of the one who gave us life in the first place. So before you get comfortable, take a second to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy these quiet journeys of reflection. And leave a comment telling me where you're listening from and what time it is for you. Somehow, it's always 2 a.m. somewhere, and 2 a.m. feels like the hour when the soul finally stops pretending it isn't searching for answers. Now dim those lights. Switch on a fan for that soft white noise hum. Get comfortable. Pull the blanket close and maybe tuck your feet in. Not because imaginary rats are plotting anything tonight, but because stillness helps the heart listen. Let's pause for a moment. Have you ever noticed how rarely we think about our Creator? Not in passing, not in routine words, but truly think. Not who we imagine Him to be, not who culture portrays Him as, but who He actually is. Beyond fear, beyond comfort, beyond assumptions. Tonight is not about debate. It's not about arguments or winning points. Tonight is about remembrance, about peeling back the layers of noise, pride, habit, and forgetfulness, and returning to the truth that every human soul once knew before the world grew loud. This is a gentle reminder, a quiet awakening, a moment to realign the heart. We'll move slowly, softly, with humility, because the reality of your Creator is not something to rush through. So take a slow breath in and let it out. You don't need to have everything figured out tonight. You don't need perfect words. Just listen. Because some truths aren't shouted, they're remembered. Now, let us begin. Chapter 1. Before time remembered itself. Before the dawn of time, there was no horizon to measure distance, no sound to break silence, no motion to suggest direction. A vast void of darkness existed. Not darkness as fear, but absence. No stars waited to shine. No space stretched outward. No moment followed another. There was no before, because time itself had not yet learned how to begin. In this absolute stillness, nothing competed for attention. Nothing demanded explanation. The void was not chaotic. It was silent, complete, and waiting. Yet within this stillness existed a truth greater than creation itself. The Creator was already there, not emerging, not forming, not becoming, but existing eternally, without beginning and without end. Then, from within the silence, a single brilliant light begins to emanate, not as form, not as shape, not as location, but as symbol, a reminder, a sign for limited minds to grasp an unlimited reality. This light does not illuminate the Creator, for He is beyond comparison. It represents His presence, eternal, sustaining, unmatched. This light does not flicker. It does not grow or diminish. It does not struggle against darkness. Darkness yields simply because light exists. The Creator does not need creation to be known, yet He allows signs so that hearts may remember. He does not require witnesses, yet He grants awareness so souls may awaken. Long before stars were placed in the sky, before angels carried commands, before humanity breathed its first breath, Allah was, and He remains. This is the truth every soul must remember. The Creator is not part of the universe. The universe is dependent upon Him. Every atom, every law, every unseen force stands only because He sustains it. If He were to withdraw His command, not with effort, not with delay, existence would simply cease. The light continues to emanate, filling what cannot truly be filled. It does not move through space because space itself has not yet been created. It does not cast shadows because nothing exists to block it. It simply is, a reflection of divine constancy. This is why the human soul longs for meaning, because deep within it remembers dependence. It remembers origin. It remembers that it was not self-made, not self-sustaining, not self-directed. Every breath borrowed, every heartbeat allowed, every moment granted. The Creator was not lonely in the void. He does not need companionship. Creation was not born of necessity, but of wisdom and mercy. He creates not to be completed, but to be known through signs. And when creation begins, when time starts flowing, when stars ignite, when souls are shaped, nothing about the Creator changes. He is not surprised. He is not learning. He is not reacting. He is guiding. The brilliant light remains constant, as everything else will eventually change. Civilizations will rise and fall. Bodies will age. Worlds will expand and collapse. Even the universe itself will one day fold back upon command. But the Creator remains untouched by time. This is the untold reality many forget. That success does not elevate you above Him. That failure does not distance Him from you. That silence does not mean absence. He was present before time spoke, and He is present now. As the mind slows, as sleep approaches, this truth settles gently into the heart. You are not alone in the universe, nor are you its center. You are a servant, honored, seen, remembered, sustained by the one who existed when there was nothing to sustain. The void was never empty. It was held. And the light you imagine is not Him, but a mercy, a reminder, a whisper to the soul. You came from the eternal. You return to the eternal. And everything in between was known. Rest in that remembrance, for the Creator does not sleep, does not forget, and does not fade. And in that truth, the soul finds peace. Chapter 2. The whimsical awakening of the soul. Salam alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Tonight, we embark on a journey to a place where the sand is hotter than a sunbather's sunburn, and the only thing more precious than water is the knowledge of your Creator. We find ourselves in the heart of 14th century Saudi Arabia, a time when people believed bathing was overrated and deodorant was just a myth whispered about in dark alleys. As you settle in tonight, I encourage you to dim those lights, turn on a fan, because it's definitely warmer than a freshly brewed cup of chai, and get cozy. Maybe even grab a pillow or two. Trust me, in these times, you'll want something soft to land on after you experience life like a medieval soul with a heavy sprinkle of humor. Now, let me ask you some burning questions, pun absolutely intended. Have you ever found yourself wondering what it might be like to navigate the hot sands without air conditioning? Or perhaps, how did people manage to stay relatively clean when the only showers involved splashing from a stone fountain? And let's face it, how could anyone think flatbread makes for an enticing dinner again every single night? Spoiler alert, it's a great way to avoid grocery bills. Congratulations, you've just woken up in 1347. Not only do you have to deal with unbearable heat, but you're about to confront the mind-boggling realities of existence. Spoiler alert, everything will feel pivotal, especially if you trip over a rock while pondering these existential questions. Let's talk about breakfast. Now, in this time, it doesn't involve exotic lattes or avocado toast. No, my friend, it means laying your hands on fresh, warm flatbreads, if you're lucky, and perhaps some slightly dry dates. Nothing starts your day like the feeling of powdered mouth that accompanies every bite. And let's not forget the charming aroma of, wait for it, goat cheese. Because who wouldn't want to start their day with the scent of farm animals lingering in the air? Did you hear that? It's the neighbor's goat, bleating in beautiful harmony with the sounds of absolute chaos that might as well be your childhood backyard barbecue gone wrong. And here you are, trying to sip some lukewarm water in peace, while pondering when the last time was that you took a clean, invigorating shower. Wait, who are we kidding? Just rinse yourself off with some sand. That works, right? Once you've dined on the gourmet delights of your time, it's time to engage with your day's challenges. The sun blazes down hotter than an overzealous summer barbecue. You can feel the warmth radiating off the ground, like your mother when she hears you haven't settled down yet. But fret not. There's a time-honored tradition of shade-seeking, meaning it's perfectly acceptable to linger under any tree that offers even the slimmest hint of respite from the heat. As you shuffle along, you encounter the villagers. Oh, what a motley crew. They chat with fervor while using phrases you've never heard, from deep philosophical musings on why the sky is blue, because Allah is the all-knowing, to heated debates about who can throw the best-sized rock for a game. Yes, we're talking Olympic-level rock tossing here. Imagine engaging in these delightful discussions while you sweat bullets, cursing your mediocre armpit situation, wondering if one truly can retain dignity while dressed in simple cloth and a broad smile. Then the laughs hit you. There's something inherently absurd about a crowd of people gathered, discussing the universe and their place within it, while sunbathing. Every villager has their business, dreams, and aspirations. Some might even share how they've recently discovered new ways to barter, since the current coinage apparently does wonders to block sunlight. After a day filled with the pursuit of knowledge, chaotic goat encounters, and laughter, oh, this is important. What do you do at the end? Well, that's easy. You gather around a fire and ponder the mysteries of life. What is the purpose of existence? Why on earth does washing one's hands always seem optional after coming back from the fields? Merely shrugging it off like the rest of the world, you settle in for a night of awe while sipping some less than refreshing mint tea. The ambiance deepens, and with it, your mind starts weaving tales of divine love and purpose that enters the fabric of your existence. You reflect, laugh, and slowly you drift into that sweet abyss of sleep, dreaming of a world bound in beauty and laughter, all while considering the greater depth of existence and your connection to the Creator. And so, as laughter fades, you find peace knowing that just as the stars glimmer over the darkened sands, your soul too is cradled under the guidance of a power far greater than you often realize. A reminder that where you come from matters, but where you awaken spiritually matters even more. Rest easy, dear one. The tale continues. Chapter 3. The glorious glow of the Creator's canvas. Salam alaikum, dear friends. Tonight, we find ourselves nestled in a mystical time somewhere between reality and reverie, amidst golden sunsets and gentle breezes, in a land where the sun sets over undulating dunes more gracefully than a seasoned dancer twirling on a stage. Imagine this: a lone figure, yes, that's you, standing atop a high dune, his silhouette framed by the fiery colors of a West Arabian sunset. The sun dips low, casting warm hues across the landscape, illuminating everything from the rugged terrain to the fleeting clouds, like swirling cotton candy in a child's hand. This is a slice of heaven, and you, my friend, are the unwitting custodian of this sacred moment. As the sky shifts from fiery orange to the soft lilac hue of twilight, let's take a moment to appreciate the details. The earthy scent of the dunes wafts up, perhaps mixed with the faint aroma of roasted dates, filling the air with an olfactory symphony. Can you smell it? Ah, blissful nostalgia. Now, let's be honest. Have you ever wondered how this majestic landscape was crafted? Did the Creator whip up the sunsets on a particularly creative Monday? Perhaps he had a few celestial assistants, like luxurious clouds and cheeky birds, who brought the concept of artistic flair to new heights. Perhaps even a rebellious sun, trying to escape the mundane patterns of day, delighting in the freedom to paint across the canvas of the sky. In this magical time, we're not just observers, we're participants in the grand interplay of existence. You might ponder, why did the Creator choose to create such magnificent scenes of nature? Was it to make us feel small and insignificant, or rather to embrace the cosmic connection that intertwines every being with the divine. Score 1 for the latter. As you stand there in reflective thought, allow the colors to dance around you, sparking a deeper conundrum about your existence. Are you merely an observer of life, or a part of a larger tapestry? After all, spoiler alert, the act of observing itself is an intimate relationship with the Creator, intertwining your soul with the very essence of design. And now, picture the magical spectacle before you. Horses galloping in the distance, their hooves barely kissing the earth, stirring up soft clouds of sand, while joyful laughter echoes through the air. The villagers below, bustling with youthful energy, engage in the simple delight of life, some haggling over a goat, exceptionally interested in their flatbreads, a dramatic case of mistaken culinary intentions, if you will. You chuckle to yourself, picturing the goat outsmarting its owner like a mischievous prankster. Ah, that goat surely has a better grasp on this than I do. Perhaps I need to take a page from its book, living my best life, one date and flatbread at a time. Life here, my friend, is not without its complexities. It's woven with threads of divine purpose, imbued in every speck of dust rising into the air as they dance toward the twilight sky. It's about the connection, the bond not only with nature, but with each other and ultimately with the Creator. It's time to contemplate your role in this wondrous design. As you gaze at the horizon, you might wonder, is my existence a mere accident of nature? Or am I intricately woven into the purpose and fabric of the divine plan, just as every sunset echoes in the hearts of its beholders? The waves of warmth wash over you, now mingled with the cool breeze kissing your cheeks. It's a reminder that you're not alone. The Creator surrounds you in every grain of sand, every breath of wind, every flickering star that will soon join the night. There's an intimacy here, a personal relationship waiting for you to recognize it. And as you ruminate on the gravity of existence and the delicate facets of your own feelings of self-worth, consider this: the very particles of this land, the sand, the winds, the cackling goats, all sing praises and affirmations of your existence, saying, you, dear one, are a part of something grander. It's all connected. As the sun completes its descent, settling into slumber beyond the horizon, shadows lengthen and the stars begin to twinkle like tiny, joyful witnesses of the day's end. You take a deep inhale, hold it, and slowly release it. This act, dear friends, means something profound. It's a momentary acknowledgement of your Creator. So here you are, standing on the cusp of nightfall, a participant in this never-ending story of existence, laughter, and solemnity. Allow yourself to sway with the rhythm of the universe, engaging with the mysteries beyond the visible. Close your eyes for a moment and remember, in the vastness of creation, you are significant. You are cherished. You are here for a reason, an eternal part of a divine narrative woven by the hands of your Creator forever, inviting you to explore, understand, and share in the wonder of existence. Rest easy, dear one. The tale continues. Chapter 4. The Melting Clock Over the Ocean of Light. Salam alaikum, dear friends. Tonight, Prepare to dive deeper than your in-laws' WhatsApp group chats into something wonderfully abstract and absurd. It's a clock. Yes, the very same contraption that tells you your time is running out during those awkward family dinners. But wait, this clock is melting into a vast ocean of light, which, believe me, is a much better alternative than those cold plates of kebabs from last week's wedding. As you cozy up, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment, but only if you genuinely enjoy what you hear. No need to fill my heart with false hopes like that overcooked pilaf last Eid. Now, let's dim the lights, sip our metaphorical chamomile tea, and get restless in our sleep as we wonder, what if we were back in 610 AD? Would we be trading camels like they were collectibles? Would we still find ourselves frustrated every time the goats escape? Are there really people out there who think sandals were the peak of fashion? Oh, the humans of the past. Congratulations! You've just woken up in a vibrant Arabian landscape, specifically just a stone's throw from where the first verses of the Quran were revealed. Does it smell different? Is the air thicker with purpose, worry about unpaid bills, and those pesky existential dread questions? You bet. Look around. Everything is illuminated by the profound warmth of the desert sun. Gaze beyond the horizon, where the sands undulate like the laughter of children at play. But wait, let's talk about that clock, shall we? The hands of this fantastical timepiece, warped and twisted, melting into a canvas of golden light, capturing the divine essence of a being that transcends not just time, but space and physical matter itself. Can you imagine this? You're staring at a melting clock, mechanics oozing into a sea of spiritual luminescence, picturing the very creator of the universe throwing a celestial rave. Who knew? Great cosmic dance parties just up there in the ether, while we're down here fretting over parking tickets and grocery lists. There's something gloriously absurd about it, isn't it? Why has Allah chosen this timing, this melting clock, to convey His essence? Let it simmer in your mind as we ponder. Is time merely a human construct, a device for humanity to make sense of a world that often eludes understanding? Or is it a divine tool, marking moments for us to reflect on our existence and purpose? If you could grasp the meaning of this cosmic oozing of time, would you finally feel at peace? Or would you just want a clock that doesn't melt all over your favorite rug? As you stand, gazing into the ocean of light, perhaps you're struck by the realization that you actually are a part of something larger, something more profound. The elegant blur of light might seem nonsensical, much like trying to assemble IKEA furniture without instructions. But in truth, it's a vibrant tapestry woven with interconnections that pulsate in unison with the heartbeat of creation. Each moment, despite its fleeting nature, carries eternal significance. Take a deep breath and inhale deeply. Do you smell that? It's not just the fragrant spices of your neighbor's kitchen, simmering chickens gossiping about escaping the dinner plate. Nope, it's the scent of divine communication, a reminder that the Creator patiently awaits your acknowledgement. Perhaps even chuckling at the antics of humanity, trying to fit the rhythm of existence into predictable patterns. Feel the warmth in your heart as you contemplate your existence in this universe. Remember how you, like that melting clock, may carry the weight of time, but you are also meant to dance through the light that surrounds you. You can embrace the moments of joy, the experiences that make you feel alive, and the laughter shared over a plate of dates and bread with your neighbor. Your mind drifts over the stories of the prophets, towering figures reaching across the sands of time, unrolling the wisdom contained within. They faced trials we can't even fathom today, yet here you are, lounging and laughing under the cosmic gaze of Allah. How quirky! In this divine moment, perhaps you reflect on the essence of time and individuality, the brushstrokes of creation that differentiate you, yet simultaneously bind you with every living being in this celestial dance. Everything is connected. Each nuance of existence, no matter how minute, matters to the grandeur of the divine narrative. As the clock drips into that sea of brilliance, each drop transforms into a memory, a prayer, a laugh shared among old friends, and the unsung stories of loving communities, solemn yet hopeful. Picture the villagers, the goats, and all their whimsical antics as they remind you not only of their struggles, but also their moments of enlightenment, laughter, and connection. So, as you drift further into the embrace of this ocean of light, remember, time is not your enemy. Just as the clock melts into the waves of brilliance, let go of your burdens and embrace the divine presence. For you are more than just a fleeting moment in this existence. You are a cherished part of the grand design, endlessly invited to explore, experience, and remember your Creator. Rest easy, dear friend. The tale continues. Chapter 5. The Horizon of the Infinite. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight we embark on a journey more bewildering than trying to find your way out of a maze made of thumbtacks and twinkling lights. Imagine standing at the edge of a massive cliff, peering into an ocean of stars, wondering if space is just nature's way of trying to distract us from our daily snack dilemmas. Did you ever wonder what it was like to gaze at an infinite starlit sky, especially in 610 AD, when the biggest drama in town was whether your goat learned a new trick? But before we delve deeper into this cosmic wonderland, consider giving that like button a gentle nudge, subscribing, and, if the content resonates with your heart, not just for the sake of it, like that extra piece of baklava that ruined your diet, drop a comment down below. Now, kick back, dim the lights, and let's keep things comfy. Unless your sofa feels like a medieval torture device. In that case, I sympathize. As you settle in, I can't help but ask, ever wondered what went through the minds of people back in the day? Did they too find themselves torn between ventures, like wondering whether to trade that scrawny donkey for a magical carpet? A bit of a stretch, but we like to dream. Or perhaps the puzzles of eating too many figs. Not that we know about that, right? What if one of them had an existential crisis while counting stars instead? Congratulations! You've just woke up in the desert of Arabia, right around the time the first whispers of divine revelation fluttered in the winds. The year is 610 AD, right before the dawn of Islam, where a vast universe brimming with mysteries awaits. Feel that warm desert breeze? Imagine it tussling your hair, if you've got any left, as you stand at the edge of a towering cliff, staring out over an endless expanse of sky that stretches to infinity. Breathe it in. Can you smell the dust of the desert mingled with the sweet, lingering scent of strange spices wafting through the air? It's nothing short of ethereal. Instead of mundane matters, you're drawn into something boundless. The universe is singing its cosmic lullaby. And wait, is that the sound of a goat munching on something it shouldn't be? Ah, the timeless soundtrack of life. Your gaze shifts skyward. Above, a tapestry of stars twinkles like 1,000 tiny candles, beckoning you to join the cosmic party. Doesn't it all feel a bit like you're a character in one of those films that gets hit by a meteor shower, but instead of chaos, there's sparkle? Imagine standing there, pondering how small you are compared to the grandeur of it all. You might even chuckle, because truly, who needs all the latest smartphone specs when you have the whole of existence unfolding above you? In that moment, doubt creeps in. Is there a creator behind this wonder? As you consider the possibilities, you might feel like an atom trying to understand the universe, slightly absurd and a touch amusing. Yet, as insignificant as you may feel, you also realize that each flicker of starlight contains stories, prayers, and dreams from souls long gone, echoing through the corridors of time like old tales shared over jasmine tea. Let's talk about what humanity truly seeks in existence. Isn't it amusing to ponder that the same questions we've swirled around today were asked back then too? The comfort of knowing that others have gazed up at that very sky, perhaps sharing reminiscent nods over fig cookies about the great mysteries of life, with neighbors or yelling at goats escaping their enclosures. Some things never change, right? You glance down from your lofty perch, watching the silhouettes of fellow villagers scurry below, caught up in their own stories. Maybe there's a love story blossoming between two wide-eyed souls, bound by secrets whispered under the same stars. After all, even in a time as profound as the early 7th century, love hasn't lost its poetic charm, even if expressed across clenched teeth in a well-mean tucked shawl. Perhaps you find yourself musing about how all those in stories, prophets, philosophers, and goat herders, were all trying to answer the same question: who is our Creator? You realize profoundly that within that glittering expanse there exists the answer to every soul's curiosity, beckoning you toward unity with the infinite. As thoughts whirl in your head like bees around a blooming flower, consider how the prophets before you stood on similar precipices, marveling at the vastness of existence and seeking solace in the Creator. Perhaps the very presence of the divine filled the air, dancing in playful spirals among the stars, whispering promises of hope and love to those brave enough to search. Now, with your heart brimming with awe, reflect on how that moment atop the cliff isn't merely about observing the stars or feeling the vastness. It's about experiencing the dance between insignificance and greatness. Individual stories interwoven into the grand tapestry of the universe. As your eyes wander back to the village, illuminated by the soft glow of lanterns, you may find yourself smiling at the peculiar beauty of life, woven together by a shared breath that spans centuries, cultures, and unspoken understanding. It's a cosmic reality check. Life is a blend of joys, struggles, and laughter, like that questionable dish your aunt insists on making every family gathering, but you pretend to love anyway. So, as you reflect, remember this. You belong to something greater, stitched into the fabric of creation, a part of a delightful interplay of faith, laughter, and profound existence. When you finally close your eyes tonight, may the whispers of the universe guide you into dreams that stretch as far as that starlit sky. Rest easy, dear friend. The tale continues. Chapter 6. The Glowing Calligraphy and the Names of Power. Salam alaikum, dear listeners. Tonight, we're diving deeper than a camel attempting to drink from a dried-up well. Yes, we're venturing into the realm of calligraphy. But hold on to your hats, because this isn't just any art we're talking about. Picture bold, elegant Arabic calligraphy of the name Allah, glowing with a soft, ethereal light. A sight that would make even the most seasoned artists very unseasoned indeed. You might wonder, what is it about that name that makes it infuse such majesty? I mean, does it come with a built-in karaoke machine? Is there a secret ingredient, like that elusive spice your grandma swears makes everything better? But before we get too deep into the texture of ethereal fabrics or profound thoughts about cosmic goat tricks, we must remember we're awake and alert, floating a few centuries away from the comfort of your couch, directly into the heart of 610 AD Arabia. Congratulations! You've just woken up in a time where your biggest concern is whether your neighbor's goat made it into your yard again. Breathe in that warm desert air, and can you smell it? It's like a blend of spices and perhaps a bit of unidentifiable anthropomorphic friendship from the local dromedary. Picture yourself in the bustling heart of Mecca, in a world where the biggest news is just as likely to be about goat-herding secrets as it is about profound existential questions. What if, in the midst of a goat standoff, you ponder the meaning of creation? What if your next-door merchant is trying to align his business with the ultimate universe, just waiting for the ink to dry on a monumental deal, or at least a hefty barrel of dates? Let's talk about the grand presence of the Creator. How can a single name, Allah, hold so much power? Have you too felt like you were summoned to an existential crisis just moments before your morning coffee? Picture this: glorious name illuminated before you in striking Arabic calligraphy, resplendent under the twinkling twilight, casting an ethereal glow that makes your average Tuesday seem drearily mundane. And if Allah were to host a dinner party, wouldn't that be the ultimate invite? Your friends would show up, wearing their finest robes, clutching grapes and olives, dazzled by the idea of conversing with the divine in casual robes. Is it not an amusing thought that all the attributes of majesty and power can fit into a single name? It's like packing your entire grocery list into one petite bag, impressive if you manage it without losing your sanity. Big names indeed come with big responsibilities, and here you are, peeking into a grandeur that has shaped destinies and beliefs for centuries. Imagine witnessing the scribes, their pens dancing faster than a child trying to avoid bedtime, carefully crafting this beautiful name. Each stroke likely sang out the message of unity, peace, and mercy. Concepts that echo through time, connecting hearts and souls like a cosmic Wi-Fi that has been steadily linking humanity since day one. And yet, perhaps they spent a few minutes arguing over the best way to dot the I in Allah, just to add a little humor, a taste of daily triviality. As you stare at this glowing name, one can't help but ruminate on the wonder of it all. The predicaments of everyday life versus the grandeur of creation swirling in the air. Quite the dichotomy, don't you think? You might wonder if the villagers ever sat around evening fires, heatedly debating the merits of trading chickens for snow globes, or if they contemplated this extraordinary power behind the universe, and how they could somehow align their mundane transactions with heavenly intentions. But here's the kicker. Do they even grasp the significance? Would the goat herders and traders of that era ever fathom the weight behind that glowing calligraphy? "Hey, buddy, what's up with that shimmering glow?" They might laugh. Meanwhile, they'd be trying to wrangle an unruly goat seeking to nibble on a very expensive tunic. Before you lose yourself in laughter, consider what lies before us, a name that stood against time, carrying within it the essence of compassion, retribution, and ultimate truth. In that era of profound spiritual awakening, perhaps people found themselves asking questions all humans ponder. Who is behind it all? Why am I here beside this goat trying to nibble my shoelaces? And oh, what about lunch? Imagine the more philosophical villagers sitting under the star-studded sky, looking up while pondering how many socks they'd have to barter for a sweet jug of honey. You chuckle, appreciating the truth that even in a cosmos larger than your house with the squeaky door, the most profound uncertainties still lingered in curtains of everyday life. With the establishment of Islam soon to unfurl, this intricate dance of mundane and celestial promises to weave its way into hearts around the valley. Each villager is connected by the glow emanating from that remarkable entity, the luminous name they spoke of even as the sun dipped below the dunes, whispering secrets of eternity wrapped in stars. As you lay here tonight, let those vibrant thoughts of cosmic creation and the name that encapsulates it all lull you into a gentle sleep. Feel the glowing light surrounding you, just as it did centuries ago for curious souls wandering through desert landscapes, grappling with their existence while counting the stars above. Rest easy, dear friends. The tale continues. Chapter 7. The Humble Bow. Salam alaikum, dear friends. Tonight we find ourselves in a room that could only be described as more serene than a cat napping in a sunbeam. Imagine this. You've just rolled out of bed and somehow ended up in a quiet, sunlit room in 620 AD Arabia, with the warm rays of dawn lighting up your surroundings. It's so peaceful that even the neighbors' goats seem to be practicing their meditation skills instead of their usual ruckus. You might wonder, what's a humble servant doing in such a bright and cheerful space? Well, my friends, let's set the stage for a ritual so profound that it makes your morning coffee run feel like a mere footnote in the grand epic of life. Picture this. Beloved community members bowing, foreheads gently touching the ground in a gesture more profound than your typical "please don't step on my flip-flops" dance. It's a moment of total submission, not to a grumpy landlord or a demanding boss, but to the creator of the universe. You might be asking yourself, what would make a person bring their forehead down to the ground like that? Is it a new yoga pose? A desperate attempt to find comfort in an existential crisis? Or maybe they're just really into floor cleaning. But no, dear listeners, this is the deep bond of worship, where the servant, in this case, a human soul just like you, expresses humility and reverence. It's the kind of surrender that resonates so profoundly you can almost hear angels giggling in delight. Let's close our eyes and breathe in that warm desert air, the kind that makes you feel like you could float to the moon if you really tried hard enough. In this sacred moment, think about it. How does it feel to bow before something so infinitely powerful? Is it a bit like putting your dishes away after dinner and knowing you just made your future self very happy? Or maybe more like finally remembering that secret code to unlock the Wi-Fi when your connection suddenly kicks you off for watching cat videos at 3 a.m. In the hushed corners of this room, adorned with nothing but the soft sunlight and perhaps a stray fly buzzing about like it's in a 7th century rave, you sense that everyone is yearning for something greater. They come, crowding close, their hearts beating in unison, sharing not only their thoughts, but also their fears and hopes, perhaps with a side of their neighbor's goat escapades. Now let's stroll through this important historical moment. Bowing might seem quite ordinary, but oh, how it reverberates through the annals of time. This period you've found yourself in, between 610 AD and 632 AD, marks the blossoming days of prophethood, where profound theological concepts are taking root. It's the dawning of the message of Islam, where the spirit of community thrives like laughter during a surprise birthday party. Afternoons are filled with more than just gossip about who's winning the next camel race. They are layered with intriguing debates about the oneness of God. Is it not amusing, then, that while so many are toiling away just trying to figure out how to keep their tunics pressed, they are also wrestling with existential questions that would stump even the wisest philosophers over a nice cup of tea? Remember, people here are not merely doing chores or worrying about the price of dates. They are caught up in the thrill of discovering not just who their creator is, but also who they are in relation to him. They are awakening to truths that shatter misconceptions like fragile pottery pots underfoot. A bit messy, but oh, so fulfilling. Much like finally figuring out how to assemble that IKEA furniture without the instructions. As you survey the scene, think about how the act of bowing is more than just a physical act. It's a state of mind, a devotion unparalleled. It's not about looking for validations from others or fear of judgment. It's about recognizing that you are one tiny speck in the vast cosmos, yet still profoundly important. It's about surrendering everything, the good, the bad, and all those cheeky bits of doubt that sneak in around Muslim kale smoothie time. And as you take a moment to relish this silent act of worship, chuckle gently at the thought that while you know certain individuals often argue over trivial matters, like who forgot to feed the chickens, or whether Uncle Hamid really did see the moon split in two, the essence of their time still stands robustly beneath the vibrant arch of this newly awakened faith. In a world buzzing with the stray sounds of activity, where goats and cats are equally vying for attention, they unite in their commitment to a higher calling. The room fills with heartfelt prayers, punctuated by the occasional laugh, because, let's be honest, isn't it a tad funny how serious we can take ourselves sometimes while life's wonders flicker by like a candle in the wind? So as you lay here tonight, take this moment to ponder the simple gesture of bowing, that intimate exchange between the servant and their Lord. Let it remind you that you too can find solace and connection. This isn't just a history lesson. It's a gentle nudge to look deeper into your heart, to realize your role in this beautiful mosaic of the universe. Rest easy, dear friends, for tomorrow, with the dawn, we shall continue this mission of unfolding the tapestry of faith growing before us. Chapter 8. The Illuminated Message. Salam alaikum, dear friends. Tonight we find ourselves embarking on a journey vibrant enough to rival a colorful peacock at an all-you-can-eat buffet. That's right, my beloved listeners. We're diving deeper than the existential questions you ponder at 3 a.m. while binge-watching documentaries on the world's most bizarre animals. Before we wander into this historical dreamscape, let me kindly nudge you to like and subscribe, only if you find our whimsical tales as soothing as a warm blanket on a chilly evening, however. Dim the lights, turn on a fan, and get snug. Anything less might just let that pesky reality creep back in. Now, picture this. Have you ever wondered if there's a cosmic library where all thoughts and ideas float around like lost socks in a washing machine? Or do you sometimes feel worthy enough to be summoned to the meeting of the land's most enlightened thinkers, contemplating grand philosophies while eating bread dipped in date jam? Well, get ready to wake up in the 7th century, my adventurous friends. Congratulations, you've just landed in 620 AD, amidst sand dunes and sun-kissed landscapes of Arabia, where the night sky sparkles with more stars than you've ever seen. But wait, is that a fleeting thought or outer space dust? Don't overthink it too much. We don't want to disrupt the dreamy ambiance, now do we? When we immerse ourselves in the ancient, sunlit rooms adorned with stunning manuscripts, we find ourselves next to an elegant wooden stand holding a beautifully illuminated copy of the Quran. It sits there like a shy celebrity at a coffee shop, quietly waiting for someone to notice its brilliance. The rays of light stretching over its delicate pages offer more warmth than a fresh loaf of naan straight from the tandoor. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation, and, like a cat gets its 9 lives, this text is about to give life and illumination to the minds of many. Imagine the sound of a feather brushing against paper, filled with wisdom, waiting to unfurl its secrets. "Read!" echoes in the air, less like a command and more like a gentle whisper, nudging you to unlock the door of knowledge. Yet, unlike being late to the party and having to explain your absence with awkward excuses, this command is infused with purpose and divine encouragement. You can almost hear the manuscripts chuckling because obviously they have the best gossip on existence itself. In this sacred space, the gentle flicker of lamps casts shadows that dance across the walls, creating a spectacle that could only be described as a playful rivalry between darkness and light, akin to your couch failing to win against the allure of Netflix. The pages of this Quran echo not just verses, but the profound silence of generations waiting to soak in these revelations. Think of those around you, villagers gathered, each one holding their breath as they hang on the words like a toddler clutching their teddy bear, resting firmly against their chest. Sense the deep yearning for connection. It took thousands of years to realize that while they were all unique individuals, they were also part of a grand design, like pieces of an intricate jigsaw puzzle that surprisingly makes sense even after missing some corners. What would it be like to sip on wisdom that transcends time? You would thirst not just for water, but for understanding, much like the sun-drenched days that make you crave chilled lemonade, but where every sip represents a moment of clarity. Oh, the irony of life! Isn't it amusing that while you wrestle with personal issues over spilled tea or lost keys, these people are wrestling with existential questions that would keep even Socrates up at night? Now, as you step closer to the illuminated manuscript, take a moment to feel its energy. The fine ink, shimmering ever so slightly, is like captured stardust, a token of divine guidance. The written words resonate with the hearts of everyday people, ready to sow compassion, justice, and unity into the fabric of society. Imagine how they must feel, knowing that the essence of their Creator's wisdom is nestled as comfortably within these pages as a quilted blanket on a cool evening. Here goes a little fun twist for you. Have you ever tried to fold a fitted sheet? I mean, is it even possible without entering some awkward contortion? Just like those sheets, the Quran has a way of folding itself into the very essence of existence, like a cosmic origami. Each page carefully crafted to provide answers to life's entangled questions, while simultaneously reminding you that you are capable of more than mere domestic chaos. As this era unfolds around you, the essence of worship fills the room. People bow, bend, and reflect, embracing faith in a way so earthy and grounded that it feels more like a brotherhood formed in the football fields of joy rather than solemn rituals echoing off faraway mountains. The community isn't meticulously calculating their next tuna salad bocce ball game. They are connecting heart to heart and soul to soul, guided by the luminous words of sacred scripture. And as you lay here, let this chapter sink into your being, reminding you that every sacred moment surrounded by incandescent faith is waiting to inspire and uplift you. In this space of quiet unity, you are invited to bow low, not just to express humility, but to feel the deep currents of faith that run through everyone. A reminder that the essence of existence isn't just about astrological alignments or financial reports. So, Rest your weary mind, dear listener. Let the knowledge wash over you like a soothing balm as you drift into peaceful slumber. When you wake, remember the whispers of wisdom that will always be ready to guide you, just as they guided countless souls before you. Until tomorrow, when the sun shines again, may you dream of illuminated manuscripts and all the whimsical mysteries they hold. Chapter 9. The Green Sprouts of Mercy. Salam alaikum, dear friends. Grab your pillows and snuggle in, for tonight we are diving into a story that's even more refreshing than that first sip of cold lemonade on a scorching summer day. We're not just any place. We are about to land in the sandy heart of Arabia around 620 AD, a time when camel rides were more common than Uber rides, and afternoon naps were practically a national sport. But first, a gentle reminder to click that like and subscribe button. Oh yes, only if you actually enjoy our soothing tales. Imagine this. What if the clouds had personalities? Would they be more like dramatic movie stars, always stormy and brooding, or cheerful comedians happy to sprinkle a little rain? And have you ever thought about how a rainstorm can feel like a giant cosmic cleanse, washing away your existential worries, much like you'd wash away a Netflix binge-watching hangover? Now, close your eyes and feel the sands of time shifting gently around you. Congratulations! You've just woken up in the year 620 AD, where the sun is a relentless orb and the air is thick with the scent of adventure, or maybe just the scent of very dusty sandals. You hear the bustle of a marketplace, unlike anything at your local mall. There are no mannequins here, only merchants trying to sell you spices that smell like an explosion of flavor, and camels that look like they know secret paths to paradise. Now, let's talk about something magical, the gentle rain, or more accurately, that rare yet splendid gift from the heavens in this arid land. Picture this, dark clouds rolling in, the rumble of thunder echoing like the cosmic giggle of the universe. And then, drops begin to fall. Each drop lands softly on the parched earth, turning the sand into a symphony of blessings. It's as if nature is doing its best stand-up routine. Feel that? The tiny green sprouts start to push through the sand as if they've just heard the world's best news. They're not merely plants, they are little ambassadors of mercy, reminding everyone around that even in the harshest conditions, a glimmer of hope can burst forth like a surprise birthday party. Imagine trying to nap in the desert, only to be woken by a startling chime of sprouts dancing joyfully toward the skies. Let's dig a little deeper into this intriguing phenomenon. Remember that moment when you realized how much coffee you've had and decided to throw caution to the wind by also adding a double espresso? That's how these sprouts feel, invigorated, just waiting to flaunt their sparkle like they just discovered Instagram. It's nature's sweet way of saying, hey, don't worry, life finds a way, and so do we. As the gentle rain falls, it's not merely watering the ground, it's sowing seeds of infinite mercy and compassion, spilling from the very essence of your Creator. In this era, although people were grappling with how to understand their world, these humble plants are reminders, starkly vivid against the beige backdrop of the desert, that mercy isn't a luxury, but a necessity. Now let's compare this to your modern day, where you wonder if there's a delivery charge for a pint of ice cream stuffed with boisterous flavors, one which you've craved since last Tuesday. Isn't it funny how, just as you can indulge in sweet frozen treats, we also delve into the profound gifts of compassion scattered throughout the world, like sprinkles on that ice cream. Life, my friends, is a buffet, and mercy is the caramel sauce drizzled on top. In the distance, you hear the voices of villagers gathering. Can you feel their excitement? They gossip about life, love, and what it means to be human. Everything from how to get the best dates, the fruit, not the rendezvous, to the odd etiquette of camel racing. The rain, serving as an unexpected visitor, creates an atmosphere of joyful anticipation. Perhaps they're whispering sweet secrets about the world's biggest oasis, or the cloud-bringers' gossip. And let's be real, who among us doesn't love a little sprinkle of humor mixed into serious conversations? Imagine a gathering of wise individuals debating life's biggest questions while trying not to spill their freshly brewed green tea. You can almost hear the laughter mixing with the rustle of palms and the cooling breeze. The recipients of this divine rain, the green sprouts, serve as a metaphor for all living beings, each tiny leaf unfurling and stretching toward the sun, echoing the significance that Allah's infinite mercy blankets the world, an oasis of love flourishing in what once seemed barren. And in that moment, you realize that just as these plants find nourishment to grow, so too do our hearts find sustenance in kindness and compassion. Think of those sprouting plants as tiny messengers, smoother and more graceful than your favorite yoga instructor. Their emergence from the desert's grasp teaches you that growth isn't bound by circumstances. It transcends obstacles, much like how you've probably gotten through your Monday to Friday without losing your mind completely. As you drift into deeper slumber, let the echoes of this story wrap around you like a warm blanket, imbibing your spirit with comfort. It is a reminder that the essence of your Creator flows abundantly in the universe, sustaining and nurturing every soul like those delicate green sprouts at the hands of the divine gardener. In this vast tapestry of life, from one gentle raindrop to another, may we find spaces of gratitude, humor, and mutual mercy. Rest now, dear friends, for come the dawn, the world awaits its colorful, joyous travels through history and faith. Until we meet again, may your dreams be filled with green fields, compassionate encounters, and the kind of joy that sprinkles across your heart like the finest desert rain. Chapter 10. The All-Watching Eye. Salam alaikum, dear friends. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be on the receiving end of the universe's biggest spying eye? Well, tonight we are about to embark on a journey that may just make you feel like a character in an epic blockbuster. Only this time, there's no popcorn, just tranquility. Imagine this, a time when a great giant eye, composed of stars and shimmering light, gazes down upon a city that's fast asleep. Like that moment when you try to sneak out of a party without anyone noticing. This cosmic observer is none other than our Creator, the ultimate guardian of humanity. Ever feel like someone is watching your every move? Well, in this ancient landscape, that sensation has a bit more weight. Like realizing you're on a live reality show, but instead of ratings, it's all about your soul. Before we dive deeper, a quick favor. If you find yourself chuckling or smiling during this journey, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, only if you genuinely enjoy our tales. Cozy up now. Get your pillows just right. Maybe dim those lights a bit, because we've got quite the enchanting night ahead. Imagine yourself in 620 AD, surrounded by the warm winds of the Arabian Night, where instead of internet trolls, you had poets with quills sharper than their tongues. Ever pondered what it'd be like if the stars could narrate your life? Would they spill your secrets, or would they cheer for you like an overly enthusiastic sports fan? And just what antics could a wandering Bedouin, the true OG of light-footed wanderers, get up to on a typical night? Does he get lost in the expansive desert, or just forget where he buried his treasure? Congratulations, you've just woken up in 620 AD. As you blink, adjusting to the soft glow of the stars casting their gleaming embrace upon a bustling city, you begin to feel the cosmic balance of existence. The streets barely whisper, as if carefully tipping their hats to the Creator's gaze, full of unspoken thoughts and quirks. Just imagine merchants closing up their shops, families huddled together swapping stories that would make your family dinners seem dull in comparison. Except for the occasional awkward silence when Grandma asks about your love life. No, thank you. Let's talk about our celestial observer, the almighty eye hovering above. This isn't just any old eye. It's vast and all-knowing, shimmering with luminous understanding that seems to whisper, "I see you." It knows the secrets buried deep in your heart, like that urge to take another slice of baklava, even though you promised yourself 3 was enough. No pressure, of course. And it doesn't stop there. This grand gaze sees every fleeting thought and every grand dream, like a dessert buffet laid out just for humanity, ensuring no soul goes without a sweet treat. Imagine friends sharing rumors, while the very essence of your heart feels exposed to this cosmic observer, chuckling at the absurdity of your petty little worries. Oh, look, it might say, he's wondering if he left the stove on again. The eye watches over the nightly sky, illuminating the paths for wandering souls yearning for guidance, and it chuckles softly at the sameness of human folly. Did that villager really think that a magic rock could turn his date's smile into 100 camels? Funny how we're still falling for some version of that scheme today, isn't it? Now, picture this. The city below hums with life, a thrum of laughter, the clinking of cups filled with fragrant teas, and the faint scent of spices wafting through the air. You can practically taste the delight of mint and cardamom in the air. As the watchful eye peers down, it reveals glimpses of divine wisdom. The threads connecting lives in this city tapestry are brighter than the fabric they wear. Each decision, each kindness shared, becomes a shimmering thread woven into the fabric of existence. And as the night deepens, the stars twinkle, responding to the gentle pull of the universe, reminding you that even the smallest act of kindness flickers with the brilliance of the cosmos. Don't you love how each soul sparks like a firefly in the dark? The thrill of sharing a knowing look with a stranger, a kind smile shared, or the incessant yet charming bickering between neighbors over whose donkey is the loudest. So, as you drift between dreams and reality, remember this celestial gaze, my friends. It watches over you like a patient parent waiting for you to return home after a night of mischief. Its light touches the parts of you that crave wisdom and understanding more than a late-night snack. Let humor soften your heart. Let the whispers of hope fill your mind, and embrace the stars who keep vigil. Remember, dear friends, you too are a part of this divine tapestry, enriched not just by the watchful eye above, but by the lives of all those around you. Now, settle down. Allow the essence of your Creator's eye to wrap around you like your favorite blanket, cradling your dreams in cosmic warmth. Let's remember we are loved, we are seen, and through our connections, we weave the stories that echo through time itself. And as the world outside hushes for the night, may your dreams be ever illuminated by the shimmering gaze of the stars, guided by the very essence of your Creator's divine embrace. Until next time, sweet friends, may your journey be filled with warmth, love, and the gentle reminders of the beauty all around you. Chapter 11. The Calm Beneath the Storm. Salam alaikum, dear friends. Tonight we wander into a tale as wild as your Aunt Fatima's cat during a thunderstorm. Yes, we're diving into the power of nature, the kind that makes you question not just the weather, but your life choices too. Have you ever stared out at a stormy sky and thought, wow, it's beautiful but terrifying, much like my last attempt at baking? But don't fret, we're not here for the pastries or the impending drizzle. Instead, we're here to marvel at a time when the heavens themselves put on a dramatic show. Imagine yourself in 620 AD, standing on the sandy shores of Arabia, watching as the skies grow dark and bold. You know, the kind of weather that makes you want to suddenly appreciate indoor plumbing, or at least remind you of those poorly executed camping plans. Before we get swept away like a tumbleweed in a windstorm, take a moment, dear friend, to find your favorite blanket, dim those lights, and maybe grab a cup of tea or something fragrant. You deserve comfort as we transport back to a time when storm clouds weren't just Pinterest backdrops for your mood board. They were the very fabric of existence. Now, picture this. You wake up, and instead of smart technology buzzing you awake with alarms, nature herself is your morning call. The sun dips below the horizon, making way for incoming storm clouds that look as moody as a cat that's just been told it needs a bath. Can you hear that low rumble? Yes, that's not just your stomach grumbling. It's the prelude to the skies unleashing their fury upon the gentle waves below. What's it like to stand there, staring at nature's raw power? Ever thought it might just be your creator flexing a little? Like, hey, look at me. I control seasons and nations with just a flick of my finger. The water remains calm underneath, as if patiently waiting for command, much like your well-trained dog when you tell it to.
Wait for a treat.
Where are the people, you wonder? Ah, the city near you bustles like a pot of boiling water. Some merchants haggling fiercely, families embracing the darkness as they retreat from the colorful marketplace. Maybe they're gathering stories, or maybe they're just arguing over the price of a loaf of bread. Honestly, some things never change. You might even hear an old donkey complaining about the lack of respect from the local cats. All while this magnificent, colossal storm is brewing just overhead. Thunderclaps echo like rival poets trading insults, a showcase of power clashing against power. Yet below, the ocean remains mysteriously tranquil, a twist of nature's irony that's simply delicious. It's almost like the universe is reminding you that despite the chaos above, there's a peace to be found, if only you look for it. But wait, what's this? As the storm rages and flashes of lightning slice through the thick, heavy clouds, you realize that it's
More than just a light show.
Remember those days when you debated whether to wear the blue or red shirt for that big meeting? Nature isn't debating anything. It's commanding with confidence, as if proclaiming, "This is my stage, and you, my audience. Watch closely, and perhaps you'll learn something." As awe-inspiring and slightly terrifying as it is, you can't help but chuckle at how this reflects our daily lives, can you? The storms may arise, but beneath it all, there's calmness we often forget to pay attention to, like your best friend who, despite all the drama, to be fair, mostly self-inflicted, always holds it together. You sometimes find solace beneath the chaos. And then, as if the Creator wanted to remind you of His absolute sovereignty, the winds change course, and the lightning makes a grand finale, as if it's the closing act of a grand concert, a show for the ages. The clouds, thick and lively, dance like an agitated puppy, and you find yourself completely mesmerized. You see, dear friend, this isn't just about the storm. It's an exhibition of control over chaos, life, and even the tiniest grains of sand. Even the ancient civilizations surrounding this mystic Arabian expanse knew this story all too well. From the merchants to the noble families buying their way out of trouble, they were all part of a larger tapestry, a weaving where storm clouds and silver linings often exist side by side. How would they react to the storm? Probably with a mix of fear, awe, and the profound need for a fresh pair of sandals. So let the clouds rumble, let the lightning crack. When everything seems chaotic, there's still a gentle calm waiting just beneath the surface. Life, much like the ocean on that fateful night, holds its own hidden depths, serene pools waiting for you to dive in and discover the beauty that lies within. As you drift deeper into the night, may you find peace in knowing that storms pass, seasons change, and
Through it all lies a Creator who knows every wave, every gust of wind, and every crack of thunder.
so nestle deeper into your warm blanket, dear friend.
The storms may continue overhead, but underneath you are safe, cradled by the calmness of the Creator who ultimately guides each ebb and flow of the universe. May your dreams be as restorative as the still waters beneath the stormy sky. Until next time, catch those elusive stars, and remember, even the wildest storms can't wash away the peace that exists within you. Chapter 12. The Towering Mountain of Oneness. Salam alaikum, dear friends. Tonight, we set our sights on something as grand and solitary as a single towering mountain standing proud in the desert, a metaphorical giant showcasing the splendid concept of oneness. Yes, you heard right. We're here to explore a time when every camel cart was buzzing with philosophical debates, and even the local goats seemed to have their own opinions on divinity. Picture it, 610 AD, during the era of prophethood, when the world was about to uncover the incredible beauty and simplicity of believing in one true Creator. Now, before we dive slap into this profound mountain of ideas, I encourage you to do something very important. Dim those lights, cozy up in your softest blanket, and perhaps grab a cup of the most fragrant herbal tea you have, or even that old chamomile sitting on top of your kitchen shelf. It's time to engage with history, just as our ancestors might have done over a warm fire, eagerly sharing stories. Have you ever stood in front of a mountain, gazing up in admiration, only to wonder what elementary school teacher decided to put a homework assignment on that very same mountain? Maybe a question like, how do we define solitude in geographical terms? Something that makes you chuckle, right? Well, imagine doing that while your feet are buried in soft Arabian sands, the sun setting like a golden pancake in the sky. As you reminisce about this, here's a question for you. What would you do if your entire community gathered at the base of this mountain to have a deep discussion about the oneness of God, only to realize you forgot to bring snacks? Or even worse, what if someone blurted out their theory that the mountain was actually a giant piece of cheese? Now we're talking absurdities, but a little humor goes a long way. Congratulations, dear friend, you've just woken up in 610 AD, the year where everything is silent but the whispers of ancient truths waiting to be revealed. Your surroundings are bathed in the soft glow of twilight, a stark contrast to the golden hues of the vast plains. The towering mountain in front of you stands as a symbol of strength and solitude, enveloped by a ring of light, a reflection of the existence of an absolute one, without partners or companions. Picture this mountain standing tall amidst a plain that stretches farther than your inquisitive mind can fathom. It's as if nature itself planted this monumental formation to ground you in contemplation. The evening breeze whispers, barely disturbing the stillness, almost as if it too wishes to pay homage to this beacon of oneness. Smell that? It's a mix of sweet flowers and the earthy scent of sand, nature's own way of reminding you that even in solitude, beauty exists. As you approach the mountain, you notice an array of curious onlookers, some merchants animatedly discussing profits
as they try to ignore their silent wonderment about the mountain's majesty, while others, wise old men, sit cross-legged, absorbing the aura of oneness around them. Isn't it amusing how every culture shares a habit of chatting about finances while trying to look dignified in the presence of something holy? Some things, it seems, never change. Now think about the people living in this time, those who both followed the ancient ways and those who longed for something deeper. They had questions as relatable as you and I do today. Is this mountain a home for the divine? Is it a philosopher's workshop? And of course, the perennial favorite, can we arrange a sale on those delightful honey cakes nearby? Yes, my friend, life's complexities were as sweet as the honey they cherished. So let's take a step back and talk about the mountain itself. With each passing moment, the ring of light surrounding it seems to intensify, showing reflections like a celestial halo that perfectly illustrates the grandeur of the mountain creator. Imagine, just for a moment, that as the sun fully sets, it reveals 1,000 stars twinkling above, eager to join in the discussion on oneness. This spectacle becomes a beacon for all the wandering souls, those seeking gratitude, meaning, and connection. And then, abruptly, there's a sudden giggle from a nearby child who boldly claims, "I bet I can climb it faster than anyone." The adults shake their heads in affirmation, recognizing that for every generation, the call to adventure always rings the loudest. But climbing to grasp the concept of oneness is far simpler. It is, in essence, just a realization, a shift in the narrative of life that challenges every soul to see that mountains exist for both reflection and pursuit. So, as you stand at the foot of this towering mountain, consider your own life, the peaks and valleys you navigate daily amidst laughter and the occasional existential dread about missing a deadline. This is the timeless truth that smartly nudges you to remember that every mountain, every hill represents the one who created the universe and all that's in it, without the need for partners. Now, before we continue our journey exploring this beautiful mountain of oneness, remember to savor the silence, breathe in its wisdom, and snack on the thoughts that swirl within. May this introspection move mountains in your heart, illuminating your soul with the profound reality of your Creator, guiding you from darkness to light, all while guaranteeing you a good night's sleep. As the stars twinkle and the breeze whispers through your thoughts, keep nestled close to that warm, soothing blanket of comfort, because when the mountains of your mind and heart chat about oneness, the answers might just illuminate the dark corners of life. So hold on tight, dear friend. Our journey towards understanding the vast realms of divinity and connection has only just begun. Chapter 13. The Dance of the Raindrops. Salam alaikum, dear beloved souls. Tonight, we meander into a moment more refreshing than a cool breeze on a blazing day in 7th century Arabia. An epic peep into the untold reality of our Creator through the gentleness of nature and a sprinkle of humor. Did you ever wonder if your worries about the future might be similar to a camel wearing sunglasses at midnight. Silly, right? But just like that camel, we sometimes carry thoughts that weigh heavier on our hearts than those enormous bags of wheat traders lug around. Before we dive into this easygoing journey of contemplation, why don't you dim those lights, slide under your fluffiest blanket, and get cozy as you prepare to sip on whatever magical potion you sip before dreaming. Chamomile, ginger tea, or even a splash of leftover chai. Hey, no judgment. Now, let's ponder a bit. Have you ever found yourself standing in the rain, staring up at the tumultuous sky and pondering the mysteries of life, while secretly wishing you had worn your raincoat? Or perhaps you've engaged in some rather fervent soul-searching while stepping in puddles, only to find your socks drenched like a soggy piece of bread. Why does it always rain when you forgot your umbrella? Am I right? And what about when the clouds suddenly part and the sun decides to make a miraculous entrance, almost like it had been waiting for this very moment to give you a golden ray of hope? Congratulations, dear friend. You've just woken up in 630 AD, during the era of prophethood. Picture the soft Islam of vibrant desert air, the bustling bazaars of Mecca, and the whispers of an evolving faith enveloping you like a gentle nighttime breeze. As our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, walked among his people, surrounded by the curiosity and chatter of the community, there existed a profound yearning, a soft echo of questions that shifted through the bread sellers' stalls. What is forgiveness? How does one seek the peace of the one who created us all? Imagine standing there in the marketplace, your feet dusty from the day's discussions, and perhaps the occasional misstep onto a stray goat. Ah, yes, the goats, a part of life you never quite know how to predict. Yet, here in this extraordinary time, we find people contemplating profound truths and the essence of forgiveness, as our Creator showed through nature. So let's set the scene. The rain begins to patter softly, a lullaby against the sun-baked earth. You find yourself outside, a quaint abode of clay bricks shielding you from life's chaos. With hands open wide, you tilt your head towards the simmering clouds, as if to query the heavens. Oh, dear Creator, please bestow upon me mercy like these rain droplets, you might think. Suddenly, a most beautiful thing occurs. The very clouds that once shrouded the sky in gloom start breaking apart to reveal a shower of radiance, each beam shimmering like gold dust scattered by the hands of angels. Now, as you stand there with your arms extended, soaking in both rain and sun, the feeling of remorse and surrender fills your heart. It's a meditative drama playing out before you. In some ways, it's almost comedic. Who knew, standing in the rain, arms raised like an overzealous cheerleader, could bring a sense of belonging? You can almost hear the whispers of those wise old men chuckling nearby, pondering what a sight this is. Ah, look at him. It seems they think they can negotiate with the Almighty using a makeshift umbrella of faith. As you lift your gaze, drowsiness begins to wash over you, like that perfect wave of calm washing ashore after a long day at sea.
you reflect on how forgiveness is like this rain. Sometimes it pours, wowing you in the moment, and at other times it teeters gently like drops on the tip of your nose, reminding you that peace can come in all forms. And oh, the aromas, sweet earthy scents swirl around you as the earth inhales deeply and sighs with joy. This fragrance, comprising wet sand and blossoming wildflowers, is nature's own perfume, renewing and refreshing every soul, daring enough to stop and breathe deeply. If only more of us could capture forgiveness, like capturing raindrops in a jar. Imagine trying to bottle that feeling of release. Amid the showers, laughter erupts from children nearby, splashing joyfully through the puddles. Their innocence serves as a powerful reminder. What if we all approach forgiveness with the same carefree attitude? Maybe you should jump into a puddle or two. Who knows? It could spark an impromptu rain dance, leading to a newfound appreciation for grace and mercy. So here you are, standing between heavens and earth, soaked by grace. Reflect on this moment when mercy flows like the drizzles upon your outstretched arms. Who said rain wasn't exciting? Each droplet whispers encouragement, urging you to forgive, forget, and flourish. It allows you to remember that every soul is deeply woven like rain-soaked fabric into the grand tapestry of creation. This chapter of life during the era of prophethood illustrates how the beauty of nature and the commands of the Almighty weave together seamlessly, guiding you toward serenity. And as you bask in this duality of rain and sunlight, let this soothing imagery cradle you into the realms of sleep. Follow the rhythm of each drop. Let every stitch of your day unravel and embrace the yearning of the heart, remembering, dear friend, that mercy is always present for those willing to seek it. As you settle into slumber, let these thoughts float neatly in your mind, drifting effortlessly like the clouds across a twilight sky. Until we meet again in our next chapter, may the warmth of your Creator envelop you, and may the light of your spirit shine forth like the sun breaking through darkened clouds. Chapter 14. The Tranquil Reflections of Divine Creation. Salam alaikum, dear souls. Tonight, we're embarking on a journey so tranquil, it makes a cup of warm milk before bedtime seem like a roller coaster ride at an amusement park. Picture this, a calm lake, its surface smoother than your favorite silk pajamas, mirroring a clear blue sky, dotted with fluffy clouds and doves flying overhead like they're in a slow-motion music video. Isn't that delightful? Now, let me ask you, have you ever found yourself gazing into a lake and suddenly thinking about how you'd probably throw a rock in just to see the ripples, despite that awkward feeling of, hey, that's nature's peaceful moment? Or have you stood in a serene spot and thought, what if I just kissed this tranquil water? Don't worry, we've all been there. Just like that time you wondered if your last haircut would start trending on Instagram. And now, my dear friend, if I may have your attention for a moment, can you think of a time when life felt as chaotic as a herd of goats sprinting through a bazaar? I mean, when was the last time your plans went so sideways you ended up waiting for a friend who thought fashionably late meant 3 hours late? As we flow through these thoughts tonight, I invite you to embrace the calm
like you're slipping into your favorite comfy blanket after a long day. Oops, I bet you didn't know you just woke up in the era of prophethood, in a time when the divine whispers of guidance were about to wash over humanity like that refreshing first rain after a dry spell. Imagine you're there, standing quietly by a serene lake, surrounded by the rolling hills of Mecca in the Chapter 14, The Tranquil Reflections of Divine Creation. Salam alaikum, dear souls. Tonight, we're embarking on a journey so tranquil, it makes a cup of warm milk before bedtime seem like a roller coaster ride at an amusement park. Picture this, a calm lake, its surface smoother than your favorite silk pajamas, mirroring a clear blue sky, dotted with fluffy clouds, and doves flying overhead like they're in a slow-motion music video. Isn't that delightful? Now, let me ask you, have you ever found yourself gazing into a lake and suddenly thinking about how you'd probably throw a rock in just to see the ripples, despite that awkward feeling of, hey, that's nature's peaceful moment? Or have you stood in a serene spot and thought, what if I just kissed this tranquil water? Don't worry, we've all been there. Just like that time you wondered if your last haircut would start trending on Instagram. And now, my dear friend, if I may have your attention for a moment, can you think of a time when life felt as chaotic as a herd of goats sprinting through a bazaar? I mean, when was the last time your plans went so sideways you ended up waiting for a friend who thought fashionably late meant 3 hours late? As we flow through these thoughts tonight, I invite you to embrace the calm, like you're slipping into your favorite comfy blanket after a long day. Oops, I bet you didn't know you just woke up in the era of prophethood, in a time when the divine whispers of guidance were about to wash over humanity like that refreshing first rain after a dry spell. Imagine you're there, standing quietly by a serene lake, surrounded by the rolling hills of Mecca in the early 7th century. The air is fresh, the breeze is gentle, and the sheer beauty of creation whispers secrets to your heart. Look at the lake, dear friend. It reflects not just the azure sky, but also the deep-seated peace and security found in trusting the divine plan. Your heart, like the waters, yearns for serenity. Can you feel it? As you inhale deeply, the fresh scents of greenery and distant blossoms dance around you, inviting you to relinquish your worries, even if only for a moment. Now picture a small child leaning down, dipping their fingers into the water, gently stirring it up and giggling at the tiny waves created by their curious touch. Doesn't it remind you of how pure and innocent we all are when we trust in something greater? This little one doesn't worry if today's lunch will feature chicken or falafel. They simply find joy in the ripples they create, oblivious to the complexities of the adult world. And if we peered closer into the past, we'd see our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, walking through these very lands, reminding people to trust in the one who created all things, who designed the intricate beauty of the blooming flowers and the wisdom nestled within the whispers of the breeze, much like how we contemplate life decisions while scrolling our phones, somewhat aimlessly. Imagine him, with a smile, saying to those around him, "Dear friends, it's not about the questions you have or the doubts that dance in your heart. It's about submitting to the divine plan, understanding that there's beauty in surrender." Oh, if only adulting came with that clarity. As twinkling stars begin to emerge in the evening sky, a group of curious folks gather around with thoughts racing like camels at a race. Someone asks, "How do we find peace and purpose even amidst life's storms?" Another replies, "Maybe we should hold hands like the birds perched around this peaceful lake, instead of flapping around like confused." Chapter 15. The Heartbeat of Humanity. Salam alaikum, dear souls. Tonight we dive into something warm and snug, like your favorite blanket burrito, right before you drift to dreamland. Imagine this, a cozy hearth crackling with a fire so comforting it feels like receiving a loving hug from your grandma while she shares the deep secrets of life. Have you ever wondered what your heart would say if it could hold a conversation over a warm cup of cocoa? Would it spill all your embarrassing secrets? Or would it tenderly whisper about hope, dreams, and those late-night snack failures we all try to forget? So, as we cozy up and prepare to journey through the realm of creation, I humbly request you to engage in a little nighttime ritual. Dim the lights, snuggle into your favorite nook, and maybe even grab a pillow or two for extra comfort. Ready to drift off while pondering the mysteries of existence? Picture this. Have you ever had an awkward moment where you confidently went to a fancy event, only to realize too late that you wore mismatched shoes? Or maybe you've had that heart-stopping moment of fear right before a big presentation when you suddenly forget what you were about to say, like your brain hit the snooze button. Now, why do you think it is, dear listener, that your heart can sometimes feel heavier than a well-loved teddy? Could it be that it is silently echoing your hopes, fears, and dreams as you roam through life? Congratulations! You've just woken up in the 7th century, smack dab in the era of prophethood. The air feels fresher than morning dew, and the landscape around you smells like 1,000 spices, with beautiful whispers of ancient wisdom floating on the breeze. Ah, but there, residing in your chest, is a heart, pulsing with hope and fear, thumping like a drum in a lively market. It's awakening you to the profound reality that your Creator knows every flicker of your being, closer than your very jugular vein. Feeling a warm glow emanate from your heart. Good. It must be reminding you of something important, the Creator's intimate understanding of your fears. It's like being the main character in a film where the universe is the clever director, ensuring that each scene unfolds with the timing of a perfectly brewed cup of tea. As you look around, you see people bustling about, some carrying pots of honey, while others barter pottery, their chatter flowing like a melodic river, one that might occasionally be interrupted by a goat deciding it wants to join the conversation. Ever tried to reason with a goat? It's like negotiating with a toddler who's found their stash of candy. Now, let's talk about that glowing heart for a moment. Imagine it as a lantern flickering softly in the dark wilderness of uncertainty around you. Within its chamber flickers the hope of 1,000 souls, each longing to understand their purpose and the nature of a creator who crafted them from dust. Every heartbeat is like a delicate reminder that the most merciful knows your journey. You notice a wise elder sitting on a nearby carpet, laughter lines on his weathered face. He catches your gaze and grins, saying, "Ah, the heart. It's not merely a pump, but a receiver of divine connection." You see, when life becomes a chaotic whirlwind, remember that your Creator's guidance is a gentle breeze, calming the storm within. And just like that, you're transported into a scene where young children run about, dipping their awe-inspired fingertips into the radiant waters of a nearby stream. What are their giggles echoing? They remind us of our untainted beginnings, when the world was still a canvas, and innocence led every adventure. As you glance at the horizon, a flock of birds skims the skyline. It's as if they are alight with the sacred promise that despite life's trials, every soul is cradled in the embrace of love that created them. Just like you, they soar, unburdened by fears. The truth. Your Creator understands every nuance of your existence, from being anxious about that upcoming job interview to those secret hopes of finding true love. Picture yourself looking down at your heart, realizing it's glowing not just for you, but also as a beacon for all. This reality is beyond earthly comprehension, more profound than the richest tapestry woven by the finest artisans. Your heart, dear one, whispers, "Remember this." Just as the sun rises each morning, illuminating the shadows, the love and guidance of your Creator will illuminate your darkest moments. As you sit there nestled among the melodies of laughter, the fragrant essences wrapping around you like a warm hug, you realize something magical. You are seen. You are cherished. You might think that evening thoughts weigh heavily upon your soul, like a bag of potatoes at the market. However, know this: every fear, every chuckle, every quiet moment of admiration is cradled safely in the palm of a love that created all things, turning the worries of life into a cauldron of wisdom and beauty. What a comforting thought to drift off to, isn't it? The idea that you are part of an expansive design, with your heart beating in perfect sync with the universe. Allow it to soothe you as you nestle deeper into sleep, reflecting on the heart-warming truth that through every struggle, you are never alone. May the warmth of this realization cradle you to sleep and guide your dreams with soft and light-filled whispers. Until our next adventure, sweet dreams, dear one. Chapter 16. The Glowing Covenant. Salam alaikum, dear souls. Tonight we embark on a journey that's as enchanting as the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting through your kitchen before it mysteriously vanishes because someone accidentally cut a slice or two. Have you ever found yourself staring at a piece of cake, pondering whether it holds the secrets to the universe, Or at least how to have a delicious cheat day? Well, get ready to unwrap a cosmic revelation as we explore the untold reality of our Creator alongside a curious cast of characters from the 7th century, like a sitcom without the laugh track, but adorned with the wisdom of ages. But before we dive in, a gentle request. If you enjoy our little adventures together, please consider liking and subscribing. Only if you genuinely love what you hear, of course. No pressure. We're all about soul soothing here. Now, dim those lights, adjust that fan, because comfort is key. Got your pillow nestled just right? Excellent. Let's ponder some curious questions as the ancient sands of time wash over us. Have you ever wondered what it might feel like to have a conversation with someone who knows all your secrets? Like your favorite aunt, who may or may not be a ninja. Or perhaps you've experienced the delightful chaos of trying to assemble IKEA furniture without the instructions, thinking, it's just like life. There are missing pieces everywhere. Well, what if I told you, back in the time of our dear Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, humanity gathered for a very different kind of revelation? Congratulations. You've just woken up in the celestial realm, a sprawling sea of glowing souls, shimmering like stars, before time began, an ethereal canvas where every flicker of light pulsates with purpose. Welcome to the primordial moment of the covenant, where every human spirit was called forth to bear witness to the profound truth nestled in the heart of creation. Picture it, souls, gently bobbing like boats on a tranquil sea, each luminous orb emanating waves of love, curiosity, and, dare I say, a hint of mischief. As you float amongst these glowing souls, you soon realize that you're not merely an observer. You're part of a cosmic family reunion, where the air buzzes with the echoes of unfulfilled dreams and whispered promises. Imagine these souls exchanging stories about their forthcoming journeys on Earth, laughing about the inevitable moments of embarrassment and delight. Remember when I thought that scuba diving with jellyfish was a good idea? Well, at least I got a good story out of it. Look around. There's excitement in the air, radiating like sunbeams breaking through the clouds after a rainstorm. Each soul shines brightly, wrapped in the warm embrace of love and anticipation. They whisper together, sharing tales about the challenges awaiting them, families to care for, hardships to face, and, of course, the occasional clumsy moment, like that time one of them accidentally tried to pay for a loaf of bread with a potato instead of coins. Every flickering light in this radiant congregation serves as a testimony to the divine love of a Creator who intricately designed each soul with purpose. There's laughter mingling with tears, just as life often holds. Ah, the irony. Each soul knows they will face trials, but they also trust in the grace of their Creator, much like setting out on an adventure without a map, blissfully ignorant of what awaits. As the scenery shifts, you're enveloped in a tranquil glow, and in this serene atmosphere, you hear a soft voice, the voice of love that transcends time and space. You are here, it whispers, to remember the covenant, the sacred promise that binds you not just to the earth, but to the essence of existence itself. Imagine the scene, a gathering of spirited souls debating their future like a never-ending family dinner full of fervent conversations and laughter. But wait, someone just raised an eyebrow and proclaimed, "Do we really want to experience baldness halfway through life? I'd like to opt out of that," followed by uproarious giggles, reminding everyone that life on Earth sometimes resembles an unscripted comedy. You drift closer, swirling among them, feeling that every heartbeat reverberates with an unshakable connection to their creator. Each one of you is an intricate thread in this magnificent tapestry, woven from the finest silk of divine knowledge and human experience. The moments of worry begin to fade, like school lunchroom anxieties evaporating when the ice cream truck rolls by. "Fear not," comes the gentle reminder from the radiant glow, "for you are cherished beyond measure." This encompasses everything you'll encounter on your journey, from awkward first dates to discovering your passions in the quiet of your room. And here comes the affectionate nudge from existence, the reality that every struggle you endure is an opportunity to reflect, learn, and grow, much like the first time you tried to ride a bike and promptly crashed into the nearest bush, fully convinced you were destined to become the next Tour de France champion. At this moment, you realize that, although life may sometimes feel like a chaotic circus, complete with clowns and acrobatics, it is also filled with lessons waiting to be discovered, hidden treasures buried beneath layers of daily life. Your heart beats in joyous harmony with the universe, and you feel that warmth wrap around you like the softest blanket on a chilly night. Dear listeners, reflect upon the truth that rests within you. Your Creator, in all His splendid glory, knows every corner of your existence, your worries, your triumphs, and even your unexpected mishaps. He smiles upon you, offering a gentle reminder that every moment of confusion or comedy leads you closer to understanding who you truly are. As the laughter echoes softly through this celestial gathering, you feel assured that you are never alone. Each glowing soul beside you is on their own epic quest, armed with the wisdom and guidance of a Creator who crafted them with love. So as you drift into the world of dreams, let it be known, you are seen. You are cherished. May this soothing truth cradle you to sleep, guiding your reflections in the realm of dreams and light. Until our next adventure, may you enjoy the peace in your heart that is crackling softly like the embers of a campfire, reminding you of the beauty found in every moment of existence. Sleep well, dear traveler. Chapter 17, The Celestial Gathering of Souls. Salam alaikum, dear seekers of rest. Tonight, we're diving into a realm more surreal than your weirdest dream after that extra slice of cake. Imagine a gathering so significant it would make the most extravagant family reunion look like a casual Sunday brunch. We're talking about thousands of translucent figures bowing in unison, floating like marshmallows on an ethereal breeze, singing an unspoken affirmation that there is only one Lord worthy of praise. It's like a cosmic flash mob, but instead of dance moves, they're dealing with divine revelations. Before we slip into this grand assembly, I invite you to lightly tap that like button, hit subscribe, and, if the spirit moves you, leave a comment. Only if you truly enjoy this nocturnal adventure, of course. Now, let's dim those lights, perhaps crank up a gentle breeze, and get snug in your blankets. Position that pillow just right. It's essential for optimal celestial travel. Now, before we embark on this transcendent expedition, let's ponder some seriously silly questions. When was the last time you giggled uncontrollably while trying to impress someone with your extensive knowledge of 7th century poetry? Or have you ever had that awkward moment when you confidently celebrated your birthday a week early, surrounded by friends who graciously keep their daggers hidden? Imagine now being one of those glowing souls in our story tonight, preparing to face earthly challenges with humor and hope. What cosmic mischief awaits you in this life? Congratulations! You've just woken up in the celestial paradise before worldly troubles began. 610 AD, the dawning era of prophethood and revelations. Picture yourself floating amidst a majestic assembly, where the air shimmers with radiant love and purpose. Here, thousands of translucent figures gather, their essence glowing soft pastel hues, displaying an ethereal beauty reminiscent of a magician's dream
that actually took off.
In this mystical space, you hear a beautiful harmony of thoughts and feelings, floating like gentle ripples on a tranquil lake, unmistakably whispering, "We believe in one Creator." You sense an overwhelming sense of unity, likely to remind you of that time you all agreed as a family to meet for dinner, only to have 3 people completely forget. But here, there are no forgotten commitments, just luminous souls sharing an understanding that transcends words. Breathe it in, you think, as you prostrate with the others, engulfed in divine compassion. Oh, but what's this? While extending humble acknowledgments, an impish soul pops into your consciousness with a sly grin and says, "Honestly, I think a little ice cream doesn't just belong to the afterlife." This cheeky jest gets a soft ripple of laughter in return, the kind that only souls caught in joy can create, instead of disapproving laughter from your grandmother. But amidst the joyous giggles, there's something profoundly serious too. Each soul, shimmering brightly, carries the burden of their mortal stories, tales filled with hardship and aspiration, resilience and faith, woven like a blanket that you just know is about to be pulled for a group hug. Stories of earthly trials are shared with a touch of light-hearted absurdity. Remember when I attempted to ride a horse and ended up in the goat pen? At least the goats were friendly. As each luminous entity recites their tales, the collective energy is palpable, a buzzing current resonating like the faint echoes of a beloved song. It serves as a valid reminder that challenges are part of a wider game of life, a game fraught with awkward moments and cosmic significance. After all, who hasn't mistaken a banana for a phone at least once? Suddenly, the luminescent figures start to sway, and as you look around, behold the beauty in collective surrender, like a wispy dance that radiates grace. You're not just witnessing the affirmation, you are a part of it. You are here to remember, a comfortable voice croons, to testify that you are loved, cherished, a spark of divine intention immersed in the stream of existence. In this suspended moment, every heartbeat feels synchronized with the rhythm of the universe, a cosmic metronome syncing every soul to its creator. Ah, yes, this is the divine comedy at work, where every awkward date morphs into a cherished memory, and the mishaps become brilliant stories for later. And here, under the cosmic canopy, you feel a sense of relief wash over you. Every struggle, every embarrassing minute is merely a stepping stone. Life, with its chaos and unpredictability, remarkably prepares you for the ultimate reunion, reminding you that you're more than just a consumer of ice cream. You're an evolving spirit, embarking on an adventure crafted by a creator who loves you more than you could ever imagine. So, as you ease into your pillows, let this celestial gathering cradle you into a warm embrace of understanding. There's tranquility in knowing you're part of a grand design, one that encourages laughter even amidst the serious stuff. May the energy of these glowing souls carry you softly into dreams layered with knowledge and wisdom, allowing you to awaken, embraced by love. You are forever cherished in the realm of light. Sleep well, dear traveler, until we gather again for another enchanting journey. Chapter 18. A Walk Through the Neon Mirage. Salam alaikum, dear seekers of cosmic peace. Tonight, we embark on a journey that's about as enlightening as finding out your favorite pizza has gluten-free crust, flavorful, yet slightly disconcerting. Imagine, if you will, a man strolling through a bustling, neon-lit city, his face lit up like a firefly at midnight, yet lost in the clatter of life. You know that feeling, don't you? It's the same sensation you get when you walk into a gathering, lose sight of your friends, and suddenly have an awkward conversation with the punch bowl. But before we drift into this escapade, could you take a moment to tap that like button? Maybe subscribe to the channel? Only if you enjoy it, though. We wouldn't want to impose, like when a well-meaning relative insists you try their questionable casserole. Ready? Let's dim those lights just a smidge, turn on a fan for that cool breeze, and wrap yourselves snugly in your blankets. It's all about comfort as we venture into realms unknown. Now, dear friend, I have a few questions that might tickle your thoughts. Have you ever felt caught in a whirlwind, like a cute little hamster trying to navigate a maze made of cardboard? Or perhaps you've tried to navigate an IKEA without losing your sanity, a feat that truly requires divine intervention. Or maybe you've watched people take selfies while standing next to a massive monument, all the while blissfully unaware of the history surrounding them. These moments of distraction challenge our sense of purpose, don't they? Strap yourself in, for this story promises to take you back to a time where that sense of purpose was not only felt, but also forgotten. Congratulations! You've just woken up in a dazzling, crowded city, alive with energy. 620 AD, a vibrant blend of culture, spirituality,
and the intoxicating aroma of grilled meats wafting through the air. But hold on tight. This is not just any city. It's Mecca,
Epicenter of trade and spirituality, where your heart is meant to remember its promise to the divine in an age where the celestial whispers are drowned out by the bazaar's clamor. You find yourself strolling along the bustling streets, where the neon glow of the marketplace competes with the golden hue of the setting sun. Picture it, tents filled with spices, fragrant oils, and traders shouting like they just discovered gold in their backyard. Suddenly, you are absorbed into this tapestry of life, and a sensation washes over you, a delightful confusion, like coming home after a long trip and forgetting where you put your keys. As you amble through the crowds, there's a palpable current of spirituality, yet you, my friend, feel strangely disconnected. It's almost as if someone's flipped the switch and your spiritual GPS is malfunctioning. If only there were Wi-Fi for the soul. The chatter of life surrounds you. Merchants haggle over prices, while children dart between stalls, their laughter a melody lost in the cacophony. You find yourself at a crossroads, literally and figuratively. Where is that divine whisper that once sealed your promise with a spark of radiant love? Oh dear, have you left it by the camel pen again? In this vibrant chaos, there's an innocent playfulness, akin to watching dogs chase their tails in circles. You can't help but smile at the absurdity of it all. As you ponder where your spiritual connection went, a light-hearted figure by a fruit stall catches your attention. Did you know, he jests, that cherries were in fashion last season? You might want to upgrade your taste. The man laughs, a sound as contagious as a sneeze in a library. A sudden realization washes over you. Ah, yes, the spiritual amnesia that afflicts so many. Just as these traders may barter over the price of figs, humans frequently bargain with their feelings, forgetting the original promise they made to honor their Creator. It's easy to lose sight of the purpose amidst the noise of life. You laugh at the irony. Navigating life's distractions is as quirky as trying to find ice in the desert. As you delve deeper into this realization, the truth wraps around you like a cooling breeze. Each person you pass carries a story, a spark of light, trapped in layers of forgetfulness. It makes you wonder if they too feel like characters in some cosmic play. Ever tried to find your role in a movie you accidentally stumbled into? You can't help but chuckle at the thought, realizing that everyone here, each soul bustling about, is just trying to reconnect with their promise, albeit in their own, sometimes peculiar ways. Among this kaleidoscope of emotions, you catch a glimpse of a makeshift gathering. People sit together, their laughter and warmth inviting. You inch closer, and the warmth envelops you. Here, the conversations float as freely as the evening breeze. Ideas, dreams, fears, everyone shares a piece of their journey. It's like the cosmic classroom, where everyone forgets to take notes, but still learns. Are you awake? One soul whispers, grinning, or just lost in your own thoughts? Because if you're lost, coffee might help. His jest earns him chuckles and light-hearted smiles, a gentle reminder that humor is often the most divine medicine. As you meander through the city's rhythmic pulse, you discover not just a place, but a profound reminder. You belong to a universe that craves connection and understanding. It's both amusing and heartwarming to think that perhaps, in this multi-threaded tapestry of existence, even as we stumble through the chaos, there exists a guiding hand, a creation nudging us towards enlightenment. May the colorful laughter of this earthly journey remind you tonight, dear traveler, that forgetting doesn't mean losing. It's simply the playful dance of existence. As the city unfolds into a horizon dipped in grace, sleep washes over you, filled with warmth
and gentle comedy, a promise to rise once more, enlightened and eager to reconnect with your Creator. The nightlife may be loud, but the whispers of the divine are always nestled within your heart, and tomorrow that connection will shine brighter than the city lights. Sleep well.
Chapter 19. A Glimpse in the Looking Glass. Salam alaikum, dear seekers of tranquility. Tonight we embark on a journey that's as enlightening as finding a parking spot right outside your favorite cafe during a bustling weekend. So settle in, perhaps not unlike a sheikh preparing for a riveting tale, as we meander through layers of existence that might just tickle your funny bone while wrapping it in a warm quilt of wisdom. Have you ever stared into a mirror and questioned if the person looking back was really you? Or perhaps just an optical illusion, like that time you tried to assemble an IKEA shelf and ended up with extra parts? Or considered that your reflection might be just like your Wi-Fi, there one moment and glitching out the next? Well, tonight, let's explore what it means to remember the one who crafted your very essence, your Creator. So take a deep breath, allow a sigh of relief to bubble from within, and if you find yourself smiling at a memory of past mishaps, embrace it. We're all here to share a laugh and maybe shed a tear or two. Before we dive deep into this ocean of understanding, I would love for you to take a moment and gently grace that like button with your fingers, just like giving your favorite book a respectful thumb up. And if you feel inspired, subscribe to the channel, but only if it resonates with you. If not, it's like wearing mismatched socks at a wedding, uncomfortable. Now, let's dim those lights, get comfy under our blankets, and sit back. Picture yourself pondering various philosophical conundrums. What if reflections could actually talk? Would yours have a sarcastic tone? Hey, maybe don't eat that extra piece of cake. Or what if, like an old friend, it teased you about last week's dubious hairstyle? Pondering these little questions often invites laughter and leaves just enough space for enlightening revelations. And now, dear friend, here we go. Congratulations, you have just woken. Up in Mecca, around 620 AD, the year when life was about as complex as assembling Lego without the instructions. Here we find ourselves amid iconic bustling streets, wrapped in the vibrancy of a time when spirituality thrums in the air like a well-tuned lute, yet still distracts the heart. Oh yes, time to grab your metaphorical map and navigate through this engaging world. As you step forward, the sun casts its golden hue over the sandstone structures, while aromas of spices swirl through the air, perhaps attempting to flirt with your senses. The merchants are shouting prices louder than a marching band at a funeral. You hear children laughing, their joyous shrieks echoing like a melody you can't shake off, like that catchy song that fills your mind right as you're trying to sleep. But amidst all this life, as you stroll thoughtfully, an unsettling sensation begins to creep in, like bumping into an acquaintance at a grocery store only to realize you forgot their name. Awkwardness flooding your veins, this fleeting moment of connection eludes you. Where's my spirit today, you wonder, like a traveler feverishly checking their map, only to discover you've been tracing circles around the same block. Now, let's take a moment to gaze into that lovely, somewhat dusty mirror hanging on the wall of a nearby shop. As you approach, its surface appears oddly wavy, distorted, almost like your neighbor's attempt at DIY watercolor painting. Wait a minute. You blink, and the reflection stares back at you, but it seems less distinct, fading like a dream upon waking. You can't help but chuckle at the bizarre impression it leaves. This isn't just a reflection, it's a personality crisis. Isn't it funny how our Creator reminds us of our essence through mirrors? For in gazing at this blurred visage, one must wonder, are you truly seeing yourself, or merely the shadows of lost memories, fragmented hopes, and unsaid promises? It's like the time you tried to fit into jeans from college, and am I right, they might as well be a relic from a distant era. But here's the delightfully serious part. Just as the reflection grows hazy, so too can our sense of self become murky when we forget our connection to the Creator. Imagine, like a grape losing its juiciness after being left out in the sun too long, the essence evaporates. When you decorate a cake with icing, but leave out the main flavor, oh, that's a cake gone wrong. Take a moment, dear friend. In this magnificent marketplace where trade and chatter create a delightful panorama, how much do you connect with your own soul? Each stall, bursting with spices that could wake the slumbering, mirrors the spirit yearning for connection within you. Yet it begs the question, is our modern chaos just the busy noise of lives unremembered? Still, in this colorful spectacle, you find yourselves floating amongst a crowd, one moment laughing with a stranger, the next lost in thought. It's a somewhat comical contrast, like watching a cat suddenly decide it's not as aloof as it pretends. As you continue drifting through Mecca's energy, a quirky street vendor catches your eye. You there! Care for some dried grapes? They'll not only sweeten the deal, but might just smooth out that confused look on your face. His banter echoes through the stalls, and you can't help but grin, realizing that humor captures moments even amid existential reflections. Finally, it dawns on you. All these characters, with their pale shadows in the mirror of their souls, are desperately seeking something, like newlyweds forgetting where they parked on their wedding day. They're all looking to reconnect with the promise made to the Creator, the very core of existence. So, my dear companion in this journey of thought, allow the hilarity of reflection to wrap warmly around you tonight and nestle gently into the corners of your heart, like a fine carpet woven from stories, laughter, and quiet moments. Sleep wraps around you, allowing for profound connection and loving memories to rise once more, filled with light, when the dawn calls you. Where will you find yourself in the morning? Only the whispers of the universe know. Sleep deeply. Remember well.
Chapter 20. The Majestic Oak Beneath the Stars.
Salam alaikum, dear voyagers of the night. Tonight, as we unfurl the scroll of our imaginations, let's venture into a tale that's as comforting as a freshly baked baklava and as profound as that moment your sock unexpectedly slides off in a public place. Yes, we're diving into a time when starry skies wove tales of divinity and human curiosity like threads in a beautifully embroidered tapestry. So, dim those lights, fluff your pillows, and perhaps ponder the truly important questions. What if cows contemplated the meaning of life and ran their own therapy sessions? Can you imagine a chicken philosophy group discussing the existential implications of egg-laying? Well, tonight we'll navigate a landscape just as bizarre, even amidst its remarkable beauty. Get cozy, my friends, because you've just awoken in the midst of 610 AD, an era when the air was as thick with spiritual fervor as a spice market in Makkah. Here, the world buzzed with dreams, hopes, and the occasional neighborhood gossip about who forgot to feed their camel. Can you sense the crackling energy? Ah, yes. You can hear the whispers of wisdom rolling in from the sand dunes, and perhaps even the distant echoes of a night breeze tickling your senses. And now let's talk about something as grand as a gathering of fine folk and as essential as that last slice of ashta. Picture before you a majestic oak tree, its silhouette stark against a sky adorned with 1,000 shimmering stars. It stands there, a true testament to a creator whose artistry and imagination know no bounds, much like a child's drawing that somehow finds its way to the fridge, albeit 10 years later. Have you ever paused and thought, whoa, this tree's been vibing with the universe longer than I've been paying my rent? Think about it. A marvel of nature that has weathered countless seasons while serving as a refuge to chirping birds or a clandestine meeting place for that overly dramatic squirrel who believes he's destined for stardom. In this tranquil reverie, the oak's mighty branches appear to weave a narrative of strength and resilience, whispering a timeless message. Every leaf tells a story, each ring marking progress, much like an expense chart highlighting that it's time to cut down on takeout. The leaves dance under the moonlight, shimmering not unlike your Aunt Fatima's silver necklace you inherited, ever so shiny and splendid, even if it does tangle with every movement. Let's shift our focus now and gaze more intently at the bark of this splendid tree. It is gnarled and tattered, a map of life's experiences etched into wood, presiding over the years like an elder, recounting tales while gesturing wildly, trying to convince you that the best stories are the ones laden with humor and life lessons. Have you ever encountered something like that? It's that one uncle at family gatherings who manages to turn a simple, "How's it going?" into a 2-hour documentary on his last health scare, complete with sound effects, while you sit there wondering if you should check your phone. Yet underneath the oak's unwavering loyalty lies the essence of something significant. Each leaf swaying in the wind serves as a meticulous reminder that you, just like this tree, have roots that connect you to a greater story, a flying kite caught in a near monolithic dance with the heavens. The hum of existence doesn't just happen by accident. It's woven like a comforting blanket on a chilly night, reminding you that each pulse of your heart resonates with the rhythm of existence itself. And amidst this awe-inspiring tableau, take a moment to ponder. How many souls tread beneath this mighty oak, seeking solace from life's unrelenting hustle? Imagine weary travelers resting against its grand trunk, perhaps venting about the challenges of life, much like you text your best friend after a long day at work.
Maybe they sought answers among the twinkling stars overhead, just as some of you do when gazing into your reflection on a Saturday night, mulling over a questionable choice of snack food that seemed perfectly logical at 3 a.m. Every evening, the stars come out to play, twinkling like the eyes of a wise sage perched atop a hill, eager to guide wandering souls back to their true essence. Now, wouldn't it be wild if we could eavesdrop on those conversations? Hey, are you there, Mercury? How's that whole planetary orbit thing treating you? Or, Saturn, old friend, how many rings have you added to your collection this week? Surely ignored by humans entrenched in their dilemmas, yet achingly relevant to someone searching for connection amid the vastness of the universe. And as the oak tree stands firm, its branches reaching upward like a child desperately seeking a cookie jar on the highest shelf, it encapsulates the reality of your Creator, ever present, watching, and waiting patiently for you to realize that every leaf and every branch of your life speaks to divine wisdom. Those hidden treasures of understanding are scattered all around, inviting you to be playful, curious, and engaged, much like discovering that unexpected popcorn kernel at the bottom of the bag that brings back childhood memories. As we weave ourselves back from this captivating moment beneath the celestial awning of twinkling worlds, remember, dear friend, the oak symbolizes the essence of existence, the beautiful intertwining of life, laughter, and lessons. Cherish this moment amidst the stars. The echoes of your journey beckon you forward, gently reminding you of the laughter and teachings that await as you drift into sleep, with hopes to awaken filled with clarity and purpose once more. Tomorrow may bring new challenges, stirring hilarity and compassion. Yet don't forget, every branch of your existence is cradled in the loving grasp of your Creator. Rest easy, for you are indeed woven from those very strands of divine artistry. Sleep deeply, remember well. Chapter 21. The Climb to Enlightenment. Salam alaikum, dear seekers of truth. Tonight we invite you to embark on a journey steeper than your neighbor's driveway after a storm. Picture this. It's the realm of 620 AD, when the skies above Mecca carry more secrets than the gossip mill at the last town hall meeting. You know, the kind of chit-chat that leaves you wondering, was that really about the merchants missing camels, or did they just misplace a didgeridoo? Now, let's take a moment to consider what life must have been like for the people of this era. Have you ever pondered what it would feel like to traverse unpaved paths with a donkey that absolutely refuses to listen?
or how it would feel to negotiate prices with vendors who have made their coffee from beans the size of your thumb. Imagine the chaos when the foot-long daily news of town catches fire. Who knows how many kneecaps would be broken in the melee? But alas, our focus now shifts to the center of all creation. Just imagine it as a hearty stew simmering on a slow flame, awaiting the arrival of the main ingredient, your spirit. Hold on to your mats, dear friends, for you are about to wake up in a land where every breeze can carry a fateful message. Congratulations! You've just woken up in the year 620 AD, an era teetering on the brink of enlightenment, where the air is thick with a mix of salt and anticipation. The valley below, vibrant with life, holds secrets from the universe itself, much like your favorite uncle who still thinks his magic tricks are a surefire way to impress children. Amidst this magnificent backdrop, imagine a traveler clutching his cloak closer as he makes his way up a rocky path, each step harder than deciphering your lunch order at a new cafe. The winds howl fiercely, twisting around him like an argument over who stole the last piece of flatbread during dinner. With every gust, you'd swear you could almost hear the mountain chuckling, saying, "You think this is hard? I just endured a storm last week. Talk about a rough climb." Now our intrepid traveler presses forward, his heart as heavy as a woolen carpet on a July evening. Each step seems like an uphill battle, literally. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's like you, battling through a never-ending queue at the supermarket, questioning your life choices over those self-checkout machines. Why did I think I could balance 6 jars of exotic marmalade? Who am I fooling? But despite these trials, something shines faintly in the distance, a bright light flickering with the promise of hope, beckoning him like a plate of freshly baked sambusa at a gathering. With each precarious footfall, he wonders if that light symbolizes something larger than life. Isn't it amusing how nature can tease us, like your stubborn GPS insisting there's a road you've never seen before, leading you to a place that promises enlightenment, but ends up at a barren taco
Truck?
As he climbs higher, the storm around him begins to subside, and the air shifts, a curious mix of uncertainty and courage. Suddenly, everything seems serene, and it's as if the world has been wrapped in a comforting quilt. Have you ever encountered such a moment, where everything, the chaos, the noise, even the arguments about who forgot the dessert, fades into an almost poetic calm? Just you, your musings, and perhaps a couple of absurd what-ifs, fluttering like the leaves of that magnificent oak we spoke of earlier. Here, in this stillness, our traveler finally reaches the summit. Gazing down below, he realizes this climb wasn't just a physical journey. It mirrors the greater pursuit of life, a test filled with hardship, yet peppered with delightful moments of ease. Isn't it fascinating how life is like the perfect dish? You first saute the onions, a bit spicy perhaps. Then comes the luscious sauce that balances everything. Life needs its spice and sweetness too. From this exalted view, he acknowledges the trials as stepping stones toward understanding. So, if life's challenges were simply flinging wet paper towels at you, wouldn't you step back and laugh at the absurdity of it all? After all, isn't that what makes life worth living? Those moments of sheer hilarity where you trip over everything but your own expectations? The traveler realizes the path he trod was not a solitary endeavor. Every step echoed with stories of those who fell, stood up, and ultimately triumphed. And just when you think it couldn't get better, up there, where he thought clouds might break and heaven could spill its secrets, he finds that radiant light doesn't represent a far-off grand reward, but the very essence of connection, the divine bond that threads through every soul. It's the kind of feeling that warms you like a pot of spicy masala on a chilly night, reminding you that you're part of something colossal, timeless, and, dare I say, gloriously
beautiful. As he takes a deep breath, filling his lungs with air laced with 1,000 stories, he knows that all tests lead to profound revelations. Much like how every spoilt batch of dough leads to the finest bread, rising beautifully against the odds. Perhaps that's the beauty of existence, a tapestry woven with the fibers of endeavor, laughter, kindness, and indeed the most delightful absurdities. So, as you gently retire to the thoughts of a long day and the echoes of your own trials and triumphs, remember, the light at the top of your hill is always beckoning, always pausing to remind you of the grace that accompanies hardship. Drift into slumber with this truth woven into the fabric of your dreams, and allow the stories untold to cradle you in comfort. Sleep sweetly, dear friends, for tomorrow may your journey bring not just the challenges of old, but the laughter, understanding, and connection that defines our magnificent human experience. Chapter 22. The Tables of Thankfulness. Salam alaikum, dear seekers of wisdom. Tonight, as we set the stage, let's delve into something warmer than a cup of spiced tea on a cold Mecca evening. Picture a simple table, not unlike that one your aunt insists on decorating for every family gathering, complete with mismatched cutlery, a couple of suspiciously wobbly chairs, and an assortment of fruits that seem to be auditioning for a role in a Renaissance painting. Ah, yes, a scene filled with laughter, gratitude, and perhaps a few cheeky comments about how cousin Ahmad thinks he's the top mango in the family, when, let's be real, everyone knows he's just an overripe banana. Now, imagine the aroma of fresh bread absorbing all the attention, lounging on the table like it owns the place, while bright oranges, smooth figs, and juicy dates eagerly gather in their fruity huddle. Isn't it refreshing to remember the simplicity of life? If you've ever tried spreading butter on a slice of bread that feels thinner than a politician's excuse, you might find this picturesque family moment a bit daunting. Ever wondered why, despite all the modern conveniences, nothing beats gathering around a table, discussing the absolutely riveting topic of your neighbor's new goat? Take a deep breath. Let's dive deeper into this tranquil tableau. It's around 630 AD. You've just stepped inside the home of a family whose hearts are as wide as the desert surrounding them. The warm light spills like honey onto their modest table, and gathered there are generations, grandparents, parents, children, and maybe even that one cousin who's always late, but has somehow mastered the art of making a grand entrance. As if the heavens opened up and released the sun's warmth directly onto their skins, they are ensconced in a bubble of love and laughter. But let's face it, you might be wondering how to gracefully escape the awkwardness when Aunt Fatima leans in to inspect your plate. Do you smile and nod, knowing full well that if she sees you've left a single grape untouched, you'll be an immediate candidate for the family's Most Suspect Eater Award? As hands rise in thanks, you can't help but chuckle at the sincerity of their gratitude. It's not just a ritual. It's like everyone just unlocked a secret level in the game of life. One where you express appreciation before the food mysteriously disappears the minute you look away. And what is more heartfelt and humorous than a family that doesn't shy away from expressing gratitude? They understand that life can be as unpredictable as that time Uncle Malik attempted to juggle pilaf and ended up with rice in his hair for a week. Yet here they are, raising their hands under the soft glow of flickering oil lamps, thanking their Creator for every morsel on the table, an act as essential as that last-minute scramble to find the remote. Imagine the sounds typical of such moments. Laughter echoes against clay walls, blending harmoniously with the rustling palm fronds outside, whispering timeless tales as they sway in the evening breeze. The air is filled with fragrant spices, like those hidden gems in your grandmother's recipe book that only she knows about. Cumin, cardamom, and a sprinkle of memories that bind generations. So, what makes this gathering truly remarkable? It's the shared realization that gratitude is not just an act, it's a balm that nourishes the soul, much like the suhoor you secretly consume while your friends still think you're on a diet. It's the silent agreement that transcends time and culture, the understanding that every bite is not just a result of a hard day's work, but a reminder of the divine love threading through every grain of rice, every tender piece of bread. And while the family's expressions of gratitude come effortlessly, the children's attempts to resist the allure of dessert, a challenge more Herculean than moving a mountain, become a source of comic relief. Picture the little ones exchanging conspiratorial glances, plotting their next sneaky maneuver to grab that unsuspecting peach that sits right there, gleaming like the most sought-after treasure. But wait! They are met by the stern gaze of grandmother, whose own hands are raised in prayer, as if making a divine transaction, reminding everyone present that love, laughter, and humility are the true staples of life. Ah, those quirks of family gatherings, filled with absurdity, light-hearted banter, and enough emotion to fill a well. Who knew that a humble table could hold such grandeur? As you lay your head down, embracing the warmth of gratitude spilling across time, remember that each gathering, just like this one, holds stories woven into the fabric of existence. They remind us that no matter how ridiculous or precarious life seems, with a table filled with an abundance of food, surrounded by slightly
chaotic relatives. There is always a moment to pause, reflect, and share a heartfelt thanks. So let the echoes of that gathering resonate within your dreams. Drift off into slumber, dear friend, and may visions of warmth, laughter, and gratitude sweep you away to a world where love is more abundant than the sweet figs on that ancient table. Sleep sweetly, knowing that amidst every struggle, there's a light shining brighter than the brightest star, reminding you of the beauty of life itself. Chapter 23. The Golden Scales of Justice. Salam alaikum, dear wanderers of the stars. Tonight, we embark on a cosmic journey more complex than your uncle's at-home DIY plumbing project. Imagine stepping into a courtroom that makes the royal courts of yore look like a child's playpen, complete with a set of majestic golden scales that seem to hover between realms, as if pulled by invisible hands. This isn't just any courtroom, mind you. It's set beneath a sky swirling with colors that make your aunt's tie-dye shirt look monochromatic. Yes, dear friend, it's the cosmic courtroom where your every deed will be weighed. Not just the big ones either, but even that time you held the door for someone in a hurry and received nothing but a distracted nod in return. Let's make sure you're getting credit for those little acts of kindness. Now, before we wade too deep into the scales of cosmic judgment, let's take a moment to dim those lights in your room, shall we? Encourage you to slip beneath your blankets, like a cat seeking warmth in a sunny spot, and prepare yourself for a gentle drift into the realms unseen. And if you enjoy what unfolds, don't forget to sprinkle some love on that like button and share with friends, unless you think they're the type who still wear socks with sandals. What is the most absurd thing you've done to avoid a judgmental gaze? Ever slipped a slice of cake from the wedding party while pretending to be taking a group photo? Or perhaps you've sent your best friend a text dripping with sarcasm, only to realize it was meant for your boss. It's all just part of being human, isn't it? In this cosmic courtroom, it seems the scales are more forgiving than your last speeding ticket, which, let's face it, was less a speed limit and more of a suggestion, right? Welcome, dear fellows. Congratulations. You've just awakened in the year 630 AD, an era where camels were the Uber of the desert and people were far more worried about their sheep being stolen than Wi-Fi being down. As you find yourself standing at the threshold of this astonishing yet rustic world, your senses tingle with the fresh smell of spices mingling in the air, a scent that, if bottled, would surely land you a fortune on the local marketplace. You take a step, and beneath your feet the cool, damp earth feels like a refreshing spa treatment after stomping around in sandals all day. The sky above dances with vibrant colors, perhaps arguing over who can steal the show this evening. Suddenly, a child runs past you, chasing after a goat that seems to have zigzagged its way through some kind of mystical rabbit hole. Ah, to be that carefree again. Let's stroll down to the cosmic courtroom. Imagine the golden scales shimmering magnificently, a sight so entrancing you momentarily forget that you might have left your laundry in the wash, back in your own time. Panic not. In the grand scheme of things, laundry can wait. Before you is the judge. Okay, calling him the judge feels a bit mundane, doesn't it? Perhaps the ultimate arbiter of all that is fair and just suits him better. He's a figure of unparalleled mercy and justice, encompassing the essence of love itself. And boy, does he have an eye for detail. He's seen the soup you tried to make last Tuesday that turned into something that could only be described as the new form of modern art. As the crowd gathers in anticipation, the golden scales begin to sway delicately, as if caressed by a heavenly breeze. Is that the sound of angels giggling? Ah, yes. They know just how absurd life can be. But here, in this ethereal space, every laugh and sigh, every misstep and clever maneuver you made back when you worried about mortgage payments, it all matters. So, what is the verdict tonight? What gets weighed in the grand cosmic scales? It's not just about the grand gestures, my friend. Those tiny, inconspicuous acts of goodness you performed while trying to appear nonchalant. Like the time you picked up a stray kitten while everyone else avoided eye contact. Those hold weight just as much as the times you stood tall in your convictions. You stand there, heart racing, in a blend of anticipation and trepidation. But let me tell you, the major plot twist is, you're allowed to chuckle at the absurdity of it all. Life's nuances, those little quirk-laden stories that pepper every human experience, actually create a tapestry of brilliance and imperfection that colors our existence. So, expect some smiles from the heavenly audience tonight, along with a few knowing nods. In the embrace of this cosmic judgment, remember that it is not only about what you have done, but also about the intentions behind your actions. Kindness, laughter, even that weird dance you did at last year's wedding. Those unruly moves might not have won you any awards, but they brought joy. The scales weigh not just deeds, but the ripple effects they cause, like a pebble skipping across a pond, each splash a joy to the heart. As the moments stretch and flow, the golden scales shimmer ever gently, harmonizing all aspects of human experience into a rich narrative. You find comfort in realizing that this cosmic ballroom isn't just about your greatest hits, but also those less than glamorous moments that define being human and delightful. So lay back, dear dreamer. Let the images of dazzling scales and playful divine judgments soothe you into a state of tranquility, like the warm caress of the morning sun after a cool night. May you drift into slumber with a smile, equipped with the understanding that, irrespective of life's antics, you are cherished, remembered, and ultimately guided towards sincerity and truth. Sleep sweetly, knowing that every tick-tock of the cosmic clock is merely a reminder of love and connection. Chapter 24, The Garden of Mercy. Salam alaikum, gentle seekers of soft dreams. Tonight, we're taking a whimsical stroll into a place where the air is always fresh, the grass requires no mowing, and the flowers bloom like enthusiastic school children on the last day of classes. Yes, we're entering a garden more splendid than 1,000 weddings combined, but with far fewer awkward social interactions. Welcome to the Garden of Eternal Spring. Imagine, if you will, the most magnificent gate you've ever seen. Perhaps it's made of shimmering light and pearls, making your grandma's jewelry box look like a child's craft project. This gate swings open, not with a creak, but with a gentle sigh, as if it's been waiting centuries for you to arrive. And here's the kicker. It doesn't judge you based on your past escapades of binge-watching reality TV shows at 3 a.m. or that time you accidentally hit reply all to the office email fiasco. No, this gate opens solely from the incredible mercy of your Lord. Now let me ask you, ever found yourself staring at your overflowing closet, wondering how it feels to suddenly have an entirely new wardrobe? Or perhaps the kids leave you with the immortal question, why do unicorns wear rainbows? What would they say if they met a talking pineapple? While you're pondering that, just know the celestial beings here are ripe with questions too, but they peer into matters of far greater importance than your Taco Tuesday plans. Now, let's sink into the historical garden we've just entered. Congratulations, dear friend. You've just awakened in the year 630 AD, a time when the scent of incense wafts through the air. People are gossiping in whispers about camel races, and the divine message of Islam is unfolding like a colorful carpet in the very heart of the Arab Peninsula. You can almost hear a distant chatter filled with the hopeful murmurs of followers, ready to embrace an era of enlightenment, justice, and, dare I say, some fabulous potluck garbanzo beans. Let's take a closer look at this glorious garden. Picture yourself wandering through vibrant fields where all varieties of flowers bloom in unison, competing for the crown of most delightful scent. This is where divine mercy reigns supreme, more abundant than your Aunt Fatima's famous baklava at her annual house party. Each blossom represents a soul, no two exactly the same, yet all receiving their share of unconditional mercy. Now, isn't that a remarkable image? To think no one is penalized for those weekend barbecue misfires we all have from time to time, like overcooking the meat or accidentally offering a generous portion of salad instead of the intended meat skewer. Can you hear that soft rustling? That's the gentle laughter of angels flitting about, perhaps discussing who told the best dad jokes this week. Was it Abraham for his knock-knock jokes, or Moses with his classic, "What's brown and sticky?" Oh yes, stick in this enchanted garden. Humor bubbles like a joyful spring, reminding you that laughter is indeed the best inhaler for the soul. As you walk further, each step whispers of kindness, understanding, and the essence of love that envelops every single creation of your Creator. Can you feel this warm embrace? It's like the hug you receive from that overly joyous friend, you know, the one who can turn anything mundane into a chortling adventure. In this magnificent paradise, entry isn't dictated merely by your good deeds calculated like an elaborate T-chart. Rather, it's about the boundless mercy that pours forth, washing away the rust of worldly mistakes, grievances, and the slightly embarrassing memories of that one time you confused a famous celebrity's name for your dentist during a dream. Dr. McDreamy, meet Elmo. Who knew the brain could play tricks like that?
As you pause among a bouquet of shimmering flowers, remember, when you earnestly seek forgiveness, the gates of this garden swing open, as if to say, "Come in, weary traveler, leave your worries outside." Here in the Garden of Mercy, the winds carry softly whispered reminders that every moment is precious, every soul valued, and every heart capable of loving deeply, just like that golden retriever you occasionally see frolicking through the neighborhood, pursuing pure joy. But let's not forget our historical context. You see, in 630 AD, while we sip the sweetest nectar in this lush paradise, a great awakening is happening on earth. It's during this era of prophethood and divine revelation that the message of unity and compassion is being sent down like a love letter from the heavens. The realization that there's an all-encompassing mercy from the Creator flows like a refreshing cool breeze through your very being. As you continue to roam through this charmingly absurd yet beautifully profound experience, revel in the understanding that you are part of something much larger, often more delightful than your wildest dreams. So, what are you waiting for? Now's your chance to embrace the essence of mercy and forgiveness and step into an eternal spring filled with joy, laughter, and perhaps even the occasional dance-off with celestial beings. Before you slip into that blissful slumber tonight, rest assured that in this divine garden, every misstep, every oops, every laugh line showed from life's comedic twists and turns are just stepping stones toward the boundless mercy of your Creator. So, close your eyes and drift into sleep, knowing the gate of mercy remains wide open, welcoming you home. Sleep sweetly, my lost wanderer, for you are embraced by grace and love that shape the very fabric of this magnificent universe. Chapter 25, The Final Journey Towards Light. Salam alaikum, fellow night owls and seekers of delightful dreams. Tonight we're embarking on a journey more illuminating than your headlights at 3 a.m. on an empty highway. Yes, it's time to wander toward a horizon bathed in blinding white light. In fact, this light is so bright, your sunglasses might just melt. So grab a comfy blanket, dim the lights, and feel the cool breeze as we explore the mystical realms of the afterlife. Now, have you ever wondered how it feels to take that final breath, surrounded not by the drama of everyday life, but by the serene calm of something much greater? What's the world like on the other side? Are there celestial beings leisurely floating about, sipping ambrosia? Or perhaps there's a cosmic supermarket where everything is on sale, but with regular buy one, get one free offers. Now, as your imagination wanders, let's not forget the important questions. Do deceased cats frolic through the fields? Is there an angelic committee dedicated to ensuring our souls end up in the right place, complete with very stern-looking clipboards? And do you think the GPS in the afterlife has a no speed limit setting? Congratulations! You've just awakened in the year 632 AD, the year when souls were awakening to the truth of their existence. You've stepped into an era filled with whispers of enlightenment, where the air crackles with divine purpose, and you can sense a delightful breeze of newly revealed wisdom wafting your way. As you stroll through the landscape, imagine a lone figure
striding confidently towards the horizon, a soul that has finally shed the weight of earthly existence. This character is embodying what it means to let go, moving with the grace of someone who has just made peace with their past, much like that epic moment when you finish a 12-hour Netflix binge and realize you have achieved nothing but profound enlightenment via fictional means. In every step, you catch a glimpse of what the world behind that ethereal light might be, beyond the hustle, the stress of work emails, and the awkward interactions with relatives at family gatherings. Ah, the bliss of letting all that go. Can you hear the distant echoes of ancient laughter, like a cosmic giggle fest happening just beyond your reach? Yes, even here, humor reigns supreme. As you approach the horizon, the light radiates warmth, wrapping around you like a cozy blanket fresh out of the dryer, gentle and forgiving, beckoning you towards comfort and solace. The comforting embrace of the Creator envelops your very essence, allowing you to reflect on your life's journey. How many times have you slipped and tripped over your own 2 feet, only to have God laugh it off with you, perhaps offering a heavenly snack for good measure? With each stride, the vibrant scenery around you begins to morph. Streets lined with countless flowers, their colors more vivid than a box of crayons in a 5-year-old's watercolor set, exhibit the beauty of creation in all its forms. Among these blossoms, you notice a particular kind that hums softly, creating a melody that resonates with the whispers of souls, almost like a celestial choir getting ready for the world's greatest sing-off. The traits of the souls and their experiences bloom here too. Patient love, foolish pride, and everything in between. Their stories entwine like vines, mingling with each other in an intricate dance of truth and mercy. Can you feel modern-day weight being lifted? How refreshing. It's like trading your heavy winter coat for a soft cotton one. Absolutely soothing. But let's take a casual pause here for a simple truth. Our Creator sees all as they truly are. 20-second chances and late-night takeout combinations alike, all are lovingly acknowledged in the cosmic balance sheet of life. As your pace quickens toward the blinding light, consider the laughter that might echo through this corridor of peace. You wonder, are jobs still waiting on the other side? Perhaps, only if you call it soul refinancing and not mortgage. As you continue to move forward, the energy becomes palpable, a soothing promise of fulfillment wrapping you in warmth. Every fear, every ounce of doubt sheds off like autumn leaves falling from weary branches. And with each step retracing your journey, questions begin to fade. Why did you worry so much over unbaked desserts? Was that overly ambitious brunch plan really necessary? Or that time you mistakenly called your boss Mom, will that haunt you for eternity? Nah, it vanishes into the gentle sighs of the wind, carried away like forgotten baggage. Suddenly, you realize the light is not just nostalgic, but an invitation to discover the ultimate truth of your existence. Unlike your cousin's cryptic horoscope readings, this is clear and full of grace, your Creator's love reaching you like a reassuring hand, offering a warm hug on a rainy day. As you draw ever closer to the light, past experiences race before you, not as judgments, but as beautiful tapestries of existence, echoing with laughter and love. The reality settles in. This journey is long, but enlightening. And perhaps, just maybe, you'll find an eternal surprise waiting for you. A plate of perfectly cooked kebabs and your all-time favorite dessert, free of calorie count and full of heavenly delight. With every last ounce of earthly shrouds dissipating, you embrace the tranquility of arriving at your true home. Here, you remember that even in this life, you are never truly alone. Each whispering soul, each fluttering spirit is connected, and together you step into the eternal, wondrous embrace of light, love, and laughter, forever a part of something profoundly beautiful. Sleep gently, dear traveler, for you are cradled in the arms of mercy, and soon to find bliss beyond any earthly horizon. Continue dreaming, knowing that every soul, including yours, is welcomed with grace and warmth. And now, as this long journey of remembrance slowly comes to a close, let us linger for just a moment in the quiet that follows understanding. Tonight, you've walked through vast deserts of thought and gentle oceans of reflection. You've witnessed the simplicity of earlier lives, where survival itself required patience, humility, and faith. People rose with the sun, not to chase ambition, but to endure the day. Heat on their backs, hunger in their bellies, laughter mixed with hardship, and hope stitched quietly into every routine moment. There was struggle, yes, dust in the lungs, uncertainty in tomorrow. And yet there was humor too, shared bread, wandering goats, stories told beneath endless stars. Life was hard, but hearts were often light, because people knew they were never truly alone. Their resilience was not born of comfort, but of trust. They bowed when the world felt heavy. They laughed when circumstances felt absurd. They endured because remembrance anchored them. And that strength, quiet, steady, unshaken, is something we still carry within us today. Now return gently to your own life. Notice the softness of your bed, the safety of walls around you, clean water, warmth, silence at your command. These comforts are gifts one's earlier souls could scarcely imagine. Let gratitude settle into your breathing, slow and unforced. You don't need to solve everything tonight. You don't need answers before sleep. Just rest in the truth that you are seen, sustained, and known by the one who never fades. So let your thoughts loosen their grip. Let the day release you. The night is calm. The soul is held. And sleep may come soft.